Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League pre-show. My name is NightFiree with two E's. I am your caster. I have my co-casters here today, Buxton and Sleepy with two threes. Jeez Louise. Not my best of intro, gentlemen, but how are we doing today? We're getting ready for a big old matchup, the biggest, the most hyped matchup of all time, some may say.
I would agree with that. It's definitely hyped up. The rematch from OC5. We had one match between them before OC5, then we had OC5. Now we've got this one afterwards. I hope it should be good. What about you, Sleepy?
Yeah, the hype is real right now. We've got beginners. Number one in the EU, previous OC5 winners. They lost to Globochem one time this season with the Button Cup. And then we have Globochem, number one in the US, number one in most people's hearts. And they're coming in to reclaim their crown officially here in Season 6 finals. We're going to be looking at a gang buster of a game, though. NightFiree, take it away.
Yeah, it is your finalists from our semis, which were absolutely insane yesterday. I mean, those were such fantastic sets. I mean, I guess I'm torn because there was the Blaze and Beginners match, which we'll dive into first, and then there was that Globochem SMC, what, for the lack of a better word, was a stomp.
Yeah,
and
it really was, unfortunately.
And so we'll kind of break down both games, but we'll start off with Beginners. And the first clip that we're going to pull up here is one that shows off Beginners and their lack of ability to manage time it happens once, and it was something we talked about yesterday as well. But this team loves to play it very close. You know what I mean? They play everything is so down to the wire. And this play here, Woods infiltrated their defense. He was completely inside, capping the objective, but their time management, it just ran out, and it gave Blaze the map. It was the first map of the series, kind of set the pace almost, and in my eye, it made me very concerned for beginners. I thought Blaze really had a chance because they were going into their map pick after this.
Yeah. Also, just made you feel that Blaze was very fortunate, because that could have very well been a cap for them too, had he just been able to put in the code. But yeah, beginners having some trouble with their time management. They're playing a little too close to the vest. I agree. They do very well, of course. Obviously they're getting the defending teams typically in these attacking plays down to 1 or 2 members left when they're going on these attack pushes. But yeah, a lot of times exactly that happens. They run out of time, and that's just not going to work against Globochem today. We are going to skip to our third clip here because it is another highlight of the time management, this time working for them. This is a pretty lengthy clip, but you see here a minute left, and this team knows, they're aware of how close they play things. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't know how to manage their time. They just love to play it down to the last 15 seconds. You know what I mean? And they do it on any map. Downfall, Suburbia, it doesn't matter. They're going to play it down to the last 15 seconds. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it can be quite a weak point for them, though, because how many times they run out of time during the past round-robin Group B and also the semi-finals? Because I believe that was about 3 times, 5 times, something around there, that they ran out of time and lost a round. And I think just one of those during this grand final, that could potentially kill them on that map. All it takes is one big mistake, like losing a round on time, and the ties could turn dramatically.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with your Bucks, but then we're going to look at our fourth clip, and it's again, they're coming down to the wire, but they win the round. It's down to 20 seconds, and there's 4 of them alive inside capping objective.
Oh yeah, and here you see when I see Woods first setting up his pre-attack objective, Noman is up there on the roof of that North Hotel.
Yeah.
So he's so far off objective, and then as we see the play progress here, as the beginners go in and start attacking it, you see the 2 members of Blaze that are downstairs on the objective building, covering the basement. They're getting pressed and pronged. Smoils goes down there from Noman from the woods. Then we get a 2-kill trade. Killinger runs in. He's got 2 with him after the revive from
15 seconds left too. So it's just their time management. It does fail them, as we saw on that map.
Yeah.
And you're right, Bucks. It could be that's what loses them a series. But at the same time, it wins them caps and wins them the maps more times than not, apparently. I just don't want to buy into it, but their strategy to wait out the time to the very last minute really does seem to work well for them in the grand scheme of things. But I don't know, man. How's Globochem gonna? We're talking about Globochem as their opponent here.
Globochem's time management is much more efficient, in my opinion. They will begin attacks at around the 2.5 minute mark, which leaves them way more time to adapt in case things go wrong on the initial attack. Beginners always leaving it down to the wire like that. When things go wrong, they either run out of time or everything just crumbles as they go in on their attack pushes, from what I've seen between yesterday's games.
Well, let's pull up this last clip from beginners because it also highlights another sort of scary factor of this squad that doesn't come out very often, but it's this ability to play fast. Killinger here gets in behind the flank, behind the squad and cargo, diving into the smokes, playing aggressive, and then he picks up 3. He picks up 3 by just jamming through the middle. These guys are very good shots. They're quick shooters. They're a very threatening team if they do play fast. I don't know if they're going to be breaking it out today against Globo because
I don't think they're going to risk it. I think they're going to play it very reserved against Globochem today.
I think they might. just once or twice, just to kind of throw them off balance, because they did it against other teams in the round robin, where they had that one play on Bazaar that was fast.
Well,
I think we will see more things like that, but on different objectives, on different maps. Just once or twice, just if they're, maybe a bit on the back foot or they have a lead.
could be. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I was just gonna say if we see Bizarre, maybe we'll see that out of beginners. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see them taking the risk on a team like Globochem. Globochem's pretty good at stopping that kind of stuff. So we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, and we'll kind of kick things off by looking at this clip. It is a refrag from Raphael. Sickness grabs Thunder Pilot on the corner, and then Raph here uses C4 to find the refrag. We'll kind of skip ahead. Actually, we don't need to. Sickness rounds the corner, and then this is the adaptability of Globochem, is that they are using their new utility, and they're being very effective with it. Like, Raph was in that corner with C4. He tosses it out and catches that Sickness rotation out. That C4 radius, by the way, is freaking huge.
Yeah, apparently so.
Like, to catch Sickness out at such a huge range, it'll be interesting to see how Globochem continues to utilize that against beginners, because I think that's definitely going to be something that we see get used on both sides. Because beginners also use it against Blaze Squad quite effectively on Cargo.
Yeah, we did also see on Cargo during that match is that beginners had some issues with the shield play from Blaze, and Globochem was definitely watching that match. So I imagine they're going to be maybe bringing out some more shield play, trying to mimic Blaze, improve on their play a little bit, and take beginners off guard, because their shield play from Nalco during the Blaze match really, really helped out Blaze. He carried the team on an entire map.
Oh yeah, he was shoving out members of beginners out of their positions and forcing them to rotate and catching them on the rotations. It was really good usage of his shield on quarantine too. And so, yeah, I think beginners are Globochem are 100% going to be using that. But Sleepy, I want to bring it back to that time management we've talked about, because this next clip is basically the opposite of what we've been showing off from beginners, and it's how much time Globochem has left in a 4v1.
This is the Sickness clip you're referring to, correct? Yeah, no. So see, this is exactly what I'm saying. We're at the West Garage. This is Sickness defending all by himself because Globo's already picked off the rest of SC at this point. And there's a 4-man attack going straight for the objective. A frag comes out from Pants, it grabs him, or maybe it looks like Otto's grenade grabs him and Pants confirms him. But either way, they still have, 3.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 45 seconds left on the clock. So if that would not have worked, if Sickness would have picked off one or two of them, the remaining two could have fallen back, maybe moved around, changed position, and then tried for a reattack, and still have, a minute 30 on the clock by the time they reposition. So this is what I'm talking about with beginners. They play it so close to the vest that when it doesn't go right, it just goes completely wrong, and then there's no time to change or adapt it. Whereas Globochem, they've kind of found that sweet spot in the time frame where they can get enough time to get, into position for the attack and even get some early picks, but still have enough time to make their attack and adapt if things go wrong at the attack.
I agree.
Well, I just think
It's their key feature, I'd say. They're just insane reactivity.
We look at this next clip too, and it's just look at the time frame again. 3 minutes left, two left alive for SMC, and 5 alive for Globochem. Thunder Pilot's on the objective. And Buxton, I'm curious what your takeaway is on this, because something we've been seeing more of from Globochem is they've been looking for caps in these higher pressure situations. Thunder there trying to find a cap, and then the next clip that we're going to bring up is them going for a cap again on Suburbia, and it's something that we almost never see out of them.
Yeah, there was kind of a bit of a paradigm shift between the two teams. Well, between the team. Earlier on, like, even if they had the perfect opportunity to go for a cap, like, say, early Season 6, late Season 5, they almost never went for it, even if they had the ample opportunity. But now it seems when the stakes are rising, or maybe there was just a shift in their kind of game plan, they seem to actually try and go for these caps a lot more. Maybe there's maybe they got some more tactics and they're more comfortable going for the caps. Maybe they didn't have like some fast cappers on their team, but they've improved over time. Now they feel comfortable going for them. I'm not entirely sure, but they are certainly going for caps a lot more often than they used to.
In my opinion, I think they've always just been able to go at these caps. They've just not been doing it. They'd rather secure individual rounds in a more secure fashion and just kind of secure their wins early and more efficiently. Now, I think because some of the members of the community have called them out, and then also we have called them out on the fact that we never see them cap. So I think they've started to pull that out to say like, okay, look, we can cap too. We just decide to take the kills and get the one-pointed rounds to secure the win.
I even want to argue that maybe it's just because the teams are better now, and they have to cap. They can't afford to just go for these 1-point wins because teams are capable of coming back on them. I mean, we saw Noman cap on them from Blaze, and they're a team that's new to this league as of season 5 or season, so it's just like they got to be more on their toes, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you can't afford a slouch when you're at the top of the world, or eventually someone's gonna kick out your knees.
And I guess we'll kind of transition into some of our final thoughts on this series, because we haven't really we've talked about both squads, but now what are we really anticipating to see? We have the best of 5, so there's more maps in hand. There's no bans coming out, so we're guaranteed to see 3 maps. What are we expecting here, Buxton?
I am kind of expecting Subway as a curveball to come out, most likely from Globochem at some point, just as a little bit of a thing to confuse beginners, because none of these teams have already. Well, Globochem has played Subway, the new Subway, once this season. Beginners has not. I don't know if they've played it in scrims, if they have tactics for it, but they're certainly not fully prepared for it just during standard league play. So maybe they'll throw it as a curveball, but I think we'll definitely see the standards, your Suburbias, your Downfall from beginners, your Quarantine also from Globochem, and Suburbia as well, just because they are staple picks. Bazaar also very likely to come out.
And so, Sleepy, so when we're talking about who's going to pick what maps, what kind of map choices out of this pool do you think beginners are going to be going for?
I think we'll definitely see.
I think
we'll definitely. Yeah. I think we'll definitely see Quarantine. Both teams very strong on Quarantine. Beginners like to play it. They like the range on it, the routes on it. I think we'll definitely see Downfall. I don't know if it'll be beginners that pick it or if Globochem will be the one to pick it, but I do think we'll see that. I think we'll see Bazaar as well. Then I think we'll probably see Suburbia and maybe Cargo.
So you're anticipating some back and forth here.
I am, yeah. I really do think that we're going to probably have to go the distance here. I don't think any one team's going to come out and bang 3 out in a row and say, okay, that's it, drop the mic and walk off. I don't know. Globochem's been looking pretty focused. They've been putting out a lot of notifications at Discords wanting scrims to help warm up, lubricate, practice, whatever. So I don't know, man. It's really hard to tell. Beginners playing pretty strong, but yeah, they aren't really ready for shield play, which brings me to my question. Buxton, is there very many strong shield players that the beginners would have learned anti-shield or counter shield tactics to, other than maybe Weather Balloon, who's more recently been playing more regularly for boss fight?
Well, I think only shield users that they may have played against, with the exception of Weather Balloon of boss fight, would be your Danglers, your Stumpy, your Plenus, members like that, because I don't think they've really played anyone else, with the exception of obviously also Blaze, which they played just yesterday, but I don't really see them having much experience countering shields with except for those 3 teams. So if Globo pull out something slightly more unexpected that's not in the same style as those 3 teams, and especially not as similar as Weatherballoon's play style, it could seriously trip them up. And that's what I'm kind of feeling is going to happen in the series.
I would like to point out that I do think we're kind of forgetting how well beginners rolled over Blaze on that cargo map. Because they had a tough time dealing with the shield on Quarantine, yes. And that because Nelko is unreal at range on Quarantine. He has that pistol down. He can snipe you with that thing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I don't really blame them for struggling against that. What I noticed on Cargo is they started to adapt. I started to see C4 come out. They started to toss it onto walls. They were taking positions and doing pre-fire where they were trying to catch out those shield users, trying to get the backs of them. So I definitely did see some adapting to that playstyle, and it worked because they shut them down on Cargo in the next map. Beginners took that series pretty handily after they lost that first map, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, the pre-fire from beginners was devastating. I think they killed 1 or 2 people with it almost every single Volk round. It was strangling Blaze. It totally shut down any forward momentum they had straight out of the gate. It really, really screwed them over.
They played that map very well. They played it into their play style. They stopped fast pushes and then allowed themselves to play slow. It was really interesting to see. So I'm curious to see how that works against Globochem, you know, because Globochem's a much more disciplined team than Blaze, but maybe that discipline will work against them. I don't know. We always get good matchups again when these squads play. Talk about it. We haven't talked about it yet, but that Button Cup match, we're getting this rematch basically. A rematch of a rematch of a rematch. We see this matchup happen time and time again at the top.
Yeah. Well, we thought we might have Blaze interrupting that yesterday because things got down pretty close to the wire as beginners had trouble countering Naoko's shield, especially at range. But man, could you imagine if it were Blaze? If Blaze had come all the way to the final, that would have been amazing.
Quite the underdog story for us to be shaping here today. But instead, we're getting that rematch, the tried and true, the old school, really
classics.
Yeah, the classics. Right. There's a real rivalry here with these two squads. They have to feel that desire to beat each other again after they're constantly facing off against each other. And I think we're going to be getting into the match pretty shortly. I think we're probably 5 or 10 minutes out, so we are going to be cutting out here. Any final thoughts, Sleepy, first up? Predictions,
nope.
maybe. Dare you.
Predictions. I think Globochem will take it 3 maps. I think they'll take it 3-2. I doubt we'll see them go beast mode and go 3-0 on the first 3. But other than that, I think it'll be a good back and forth between the two.
Buxton?
I'm kind of expecting the same for the overall, but Globo, I think, are going to dominate on the smaller maps, especially Suburbia. I think beginners are going to really struggle with Suburbia if they don't bring out any new tactics, anything like that. If they play like they did on Cargo, it could be very successful, but I don't think you can play on Suburbia like they did on Cargo during the Blaze match.
I think I'm going to have to go. I think we're all in unanimous agreement here. Globochem 3-2, though. I think it is going to be a good series. I just don't see Globochem losing and how good they're playing. I think we're all agreement there. That'll be it for us at the pre-show. We will see you all in a few minutes for the start of the Globochem Beginners Season 6 Championship. Don't go anybody. We will be right back. Thank you very much. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Season 6 Onward VR Master League Championships. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. I am here with my co-caster, Buxton. Buxton, how are you today, sir?
I'm feeling good and I'm feeling hyped for this matchup. It's always a good time seeing Global Beginners number 1, number 2 facing off. Hope you're as excited as I am.
Yeah, man, it's, I think we have, well, we haven't cast every Globochem Beginners matchup, but I think we nailed the Button Cup and any other matchup they've been in together. We've been there, and so it's going to be exciting to see this one because they always deliver. They're always hype. And we're starting things off on, I mean, a pretty even keel map, I guess. I think it leans towards Globochem favor a little bit, but it is going to be bizarre for kick things off.
Yeah, and I would agree with you with it being relatively slightly tilted towards Globochem side. They got the Marsok on the Marsok side since it was their pick. So them being the aggressive team, them being very good on Marsok, it certainly feels like it's leaning toward their side. Since beginners, depending on how they play their cards on this map, they may have issues with Globochem's defense. Maybe if Globo plays it more aggressive, they could potentially hold up beginners.
Yeah, and I just realized that when we get into the scoring system, things could get interesting. 'Cause we very rarely run best of 5, so to keep the full score up on the board, I mean, we're anticipating at least 5 rounds, right? So we'll see. We'll get to that bridge when it comes, but for now we're going to be kicking things off onto Bazaar, and yeah, it's going to be a good way to kick off the series. I think it's interesting to note, I observed it at least, Globochem were looking for a scrim before this match today.
Yeah, they were. That is something Globochem really like to do. They must have some incredible stamina because every single match that's high profile like this, even though this is a best of 5, they always play a scrim immediately before the match starts. I'm talking they play it through. The second it hits the kind of time they need to hop out the lobby and get into the new one, that's when the scrim's finished. It's in some serious stamina. They pretty much play 2 matches back to back. That's how long and how hard they practice to make sure they're nice and warmed up.
It is, I mean, when you talk about Globochem, though, they are a team that, yeah, they have to have stamina at this point. You have to develop it over time, you know, and these guys, they're constantly put into situations and scenarios where they have to do so many games. They've been to every single LAN tournament. They've experienced fatigue at the highest level, you know, so they are the veterans in dealing with warming up and being at the right amount of loose for their games, so to speak. So we'll see if it pays off against beginners. But I'm wondering what beginners' regiment, so to speak, is as well. Maybe just dry running maps. I mean, I guess they have 8, right? Or they only have 7 in their roster, don't they?
They have 8 now.
They do. Okay.
I picked up a old member of Silent Purge, Kev, the previous tactician.
Oh. I don't anticipate we'll be seeing him here today, but
he is currently on cooldown, so he won't be able to play in this championship. But Globochem, they very much still have their original 8, well, not really original, but they have their strong, very reliable 8 roster. Thunder, Autopants, Raphael, Toast, Arsenic, Mixologist, and Norseman. Norseman you don't see played very often. Maybe they'll throw him in at some point.
High-profile matchup like this, we will see. It'd be interesting if they dropped him in. It would definitely be for a specific situation, I would imagine, but yeah, I mean, talking about practice too, Globochem can nearly run their own I mean, I think it's interesting that for the team rosters are at 8, because if you think about it, if they were at 10, it would you'd allow for at least 2 rosters per team. But but I think it's intended, right? You don't want to have 2 rosters per team. You want teams to be broken up, and there only need to be subs for 1 roster, which is definitely what each squad does. But Mix, again, I think he's another really good example of a strong player that they sub in from time to time for Globochem.
Yeah.
You know, Mixologist he's always watching the matches, always paying attention to him on Twitch. we have the full roster? Do we know what we're looking at? Yes, we do. Bucks, why don't you break down our rosters today?
Alright, so the first roster we got from Globo, I don't think it's really unsurprising. The members on this map, they're pretty solid, not something that's unexpected. You got Auto, the team captain, you got Toast, Raphael, the shield user, Pants, the CQC master and tactician, and Thunderpilot also the tactician and co-captain. Some very, very strong players on there. I think everyone's going to understand the kind of damage that even one of those players can do against even a full team of average league players. They're not people you want to mess about with. The beginners, though, they also have a pretty strong roster. Killinger, their captain, well, technically captain, IC Woods, the Woods brothers, Woods 43, also there, Smoils, Kensai. They're very standard. I think their starter roster, they pretty much always start with these guys unless one of them's unavailable. So they're definitely going to be ready either way against this roster of Globochem. Both very strong rosters.
Yeah, this is the core 5 of each squad ready to duke it out. We are just patiently awaiting the remainder of beginners to ready up. And we should be hopping into our first round. It is going to be on Bazaar for those that may have missed that. And we always talk about how that first... I think we should revise our statement and say that the first 2 rounds of a map are going to kind of give you the vibe for the series, because that first round can sometimes be lopsided depending on who's attacking, who's defending, and I feel like yesterday Blaze definitely turned it on after round 3 or 4, you know?
Yeah, once you get into those kind of final 2 or 3 rounds, that's where teams kind of start picking it up, when they start playing like they will for the rest of the match. I guess maybe it's like some kind of tension during the first couple rounds, the whole, hey, we got an hour and a half, 2 hours ahead of us. We got to start getting into this, start thinking more, get relaxed, to just get into the kind of flow of Onward. You start thinking the same way you normally did in a full league match. You start kind of just getting relaxed. You're not really stressed out about it now. You just fall into that zone of just understanding what you need to do and how you need to do it.
Man, this is such an exciting rematch, dude. I can't believe we're getting it. I can't believe we're about to see a best of 5 between Globochem and beginners in season 6. We're gonna see some wild strats, some wacky moves, some really impressive plays today. I guarantee it, Buxton.
I would also guarantee it. There's going to be some, probably some all-time clipped moments in this, I'd say. Especially, I'm going to name a few players that I think are going to pull these off. I'm going to say Killinger, Raphael, Pants, and Icy Woods. That's the 4 players that I think are going to be in some clips for the next couple months.
I like it.
Why I picked those particular players, though, entirely on a hunch.
No, they were definitely some of the stronger performers in the semifinals stage. You can kind of tell who's going to step up and who's going to be your top tier players when you get into these high pressure situations, and it's just really cool to see some of these guys that you maybe don't normally see excel just come out of their shell and dominate in the competitive scene when things really are on the line. And I mean, things are on the line. Have we even really talked about? I guess there is some prize, not a lot, but there's a decent prize pool for season 6 champions. Have we really dove into that very much? I know I haven't taken a good look at it. Have you?
We haven't dove into it too much, but we can kind of talk about what it's going to be. The grand champions here, they're going to get their Pro 2 merchandise and their coupons, their personalized first ever VRML player t-shirt, and also the usual with VR cover accessories. I think everyone's going to be looking forward to that shirt above all else. That's something you want to hang up on your wall.
It's got to be interesting at this point. Globochem, they have to have so many different VR covers and just be swapping in new VR covers all the time. That would be a good life, man. A real comfortable headset life over there for both of these squads, beginners and Globochem.
Yeah, both of them are going to be pretty stacked. They must have several of pretty much every type sitting by their desk at this point. This series, though, seems there are some tech issues on the side of Globo. Shouldn't be too long to resolve. The ones before a match typically are pretty easy to solve. So we should be hopping in relatively shortly within the next couple of minutes, but we discussed what kind of maps we might see in the future coming out from these teams. When we were with Sleepy in the pre-show, we talked about what maps we may see, but we can maybe dive into that a little bit more. We of course do have Bazaar for the first map, but as I said, I think we might see Subway as a curveball from Globochem later on during the series. I'm kind of feeling that. I don't know why, but I think they might just to kind of throw beginners off massively.
It is I hate to bring it up, but I've heard a lot of reports from a lot of teams that Subway doesn't run very great, and from my own personal takeaway on Subway, I've seen Globochem members disconnecting on that map from time to time when I've been in public lobbies. So I like that prediction, but I just don't know if these teams are going to feel comfortable enough to opt into that map at this point. I hate that to be a factor, but just something of note.
Yeah, that is also a possibility. One thing we can say is I don't think we'll see Tanker from either team here. It's dark, it's loud.
See, I would think Tanker would be the pick. I think Subway is too risky in performance, but I think Globochem could really be honing in strategies on Tanker. Because if you notice, beginners banned it against Blaze. They were worried about that map against Blaze, so if Globochem paid attention there, maybe they will take that into note, man. That would be a deep dive into the pick bans and trying to analyze a opponent there, but I don't see it being completely out of the realm of possibility.
It's a good point. Suburbia, though.
Yeah.
I did say that I was going to go very strongly to Globo. We will definitely see that, I imagine. Beginners, they have had kind of issues on Suburbia in past. Like, they do typically win it more times than not, but they lose quite a few of their rounds on it. Typically going to a 4-2, 4-3, even against low-ranked teams, which might be quite concerning to them, because Globochem with six maps to pick here in a best of 5 with a team that's pretty much equally matched in skill and no bans, it's very likely that we will see Suburbia going to Globochem very strongly, and that might put beginners onto the back foot for the pace going to the whatever the next map could be.
I mean, we could also just be talking about how this little delay here, maybe throwing a wrench into Globochem's warm-up, talking about how they like to go straight from their scrim right into the match, and it's probably been 5 or 10 minutes since they've finished that scrim and have been waiting in this lobby to solve this tech issue. I think maybe it was just
teams. I do have some information that it was fixed. Pants having some ones, and yeah, it is a pix. He's in. And we're going to be starting off NightFiree.
Diving in to round number 1, match number 1 of Season 6 Championships. Globochem versus Beginners, an OC5 rematch. Smoils with a little tune to kick things off, keep things light for the Beginners squad.
Always important to keep a positive mindset when you're going into a match such as this. You don't want to get the pressure down.
Not at all, and you may note a bit of a... I don't know, I guess that's kind of a quick spawn, especially if Globochem can use it to crash hard and fast up the west side.
I don't think I've seen Globochem do this before. They're using all 5 members up the western side here. I think they may be trying to come in from the northern side, possibly. Maybe they'll send one guy in through the west, that guy kind of lagging behind inside the building to the bottom right. Maybe they'll send him in, but I think the main force is going to be coming in from the north here. Otherwise, there's no reason why they'd come way up here.
I mean, just look at how well they're all moving together, too. They're just going off each other's audio footsteps, audio cues. They hear someone move up next to them. They advance together. Everyone's just shifting together here, and the lack of coverage on this north could be Beginners' downfall, because you're absolutely right. The entirety of this 5-man squad is going to rotate north, and that's the right move, because north is so weak in terms of lines of sight. And if they do this Beginners team is going to be completely caught off guard.
Yeah, they have pretty much every member on Beginners, though, available to rotate back to the objective. There is one guy in the western courtyard that may take a little bit of time to rotate over, but with almost all of the members next to the objective on the side of Beginners, they are in a pretty good way to actually defend the objective from caps, at least, though the north side is going to crumble pretty quickly with Pants and Toast being the forward line to push in here. So I think Killinger may be aware of Pants' location already.
Oh my gosh, you're right. He ducked in. He heard Pants call out. He was in that little courtyard area. He suspected an airburst was coming, and he ducked back in to cover just in the nick of time.
I think that's one of the weak points of Pants, is you can hear him coming from a mile away with the way he stomps about the map and is always communicating on his radio.
Some call that a strong point of Pants as well, though. It causes a bit of chaos. He tries to come into that middle courtyard area. Kensai catches him out.
One dead.
A little sickness spawn in the courtyard is pretty strong, as long as they don't realize that you're there. Because if they do, you can expect a nade to be coming in shortly. So Kensai is going to rotate out of there, go slightly further and closer to the objective.
4 remaining Globochem up here in the north. Beginners still haven't really shifted too much of their attention here.
Unlike Globochem, they're not really the type to go very reactive after confrontations like that. They do kind of always keep their positions until they are certain that the enemy's starting to push. But with these smokes, I do expect the guy in the east courtyard and the west to start to kind of flank and also rotate back to the objective now.
Suppressive fire and smokes are coming out right on cue. 3 minutes seems to be right when Globochem like to move. A nade comes out and catches Thunder and Raph on the corner. Killinger is going to advance up through the smoke, and Toast isn't going to see this. Killinger confirms 2. Raph kills himself with a nade that he must have had on hand when he was going up. Globochem are down to 2.
That was a devastating rush out.
I mean, he heard his nade successful and went.
Ah. That was seriously what Globochem did not want, and Toast may also be another man to go down on Globochem if he starts getting this aggressive, peeking out towards 43.
Otto getting picked off from 2 different angles there. The Woods brothers pincering him. And now Toast remains the last one alive against 4 beginners. That nade...
That really solid push. That was just, yeah, totally stopped by that grenade. That was... that was perfect. The rush out, that wasn't like beginners, I don't think. That was something else. That was another team that came out there and possessed Killinger.
Woods trying to flash, but didn't quite roll out far enough. And Smoils here could peek up. Toast was such a quick shot. Smoils peeked that so fast, and Toast catches him.
That was some serious reacting speed, and Toast may get Woods, but in fact, it's the other way around. I see Woods cleans up Toast, and now because they're taking that first round. Honestly, that's not what I expected. I honestly thought with that kind of push, Globo could take that, but apparently not. The nade from Killinger, that was killer.
They could have wreaked havoc with that north push. But yeah, it got shut down, and some good moves, but look at beginners spread across the board there. Everybody getting a piece of the action. It's just interesting to me, because wow. Yeah, that was a good hold from them. Their angle is just paying off. I felt like their hold on north was weak, but the two-story defense is really strong there. You can just be rotating to so many different angles up there.
I think what definitely didn't help was losing Pants as well in the west courtyard. Pants is a bit of a key player, even for Globochem, which is, I think you can describe as key players on every corner. Every single player could carry and build their own team just on their own. But Pants especially is pretty important for Globochem, so losing him, maybe if they still had him, even if they'd lost another member just to keep the team numbers the same, that could have saved them that round.
I am reminding myself and all the viewers to jump onto your socials and blast out that the championships have begun, and they have kicked it off with beginners taking the first round. Want to help promote the VR Master League. It's always a great way to do it.
Indeed it is. Also, just thinking back on that last round, beginners so far, they're very evenly spread. They have 1 kill on almost every single member on their side. Smalls lacking 1, but if they keep this up, this is going to be a bit of a stranglehold, I think, because if you have kills evened up on the opposing team like that, it kind of shows that they're really working together well. There's no one player that's just having a good day. Second round, however, has started, and we may see some early shots.
Toast almost goes down the fast cross from beginners east.
Going to be a confrontation between Thunder and Woods there. Thunder's getting really aggressive, pushing up on the north. He's going to get railed, most likely, by Woods.
Now he's using that window. He's held up there. Were those defensive smokes? I think they were, right? For Thunder to cross.
Yeah, they were. It's certainly an interesting defensive smoke. I've never seen someone try and cross the northeast by using a smoke in that kind of way. That's certainly interesting. But it has given away his position to the members of beginners in this eastern side as well.
Yeah, but it's also held up their push. I think normally beginners wanted to be a little bit farther up here. You can see Woods starting to move. Maybe getting into a position to toss some nades over the wall. Thunder catches one out. What angle is that? Oh my gosh, he peeked through that little crack, that one little brick missing in the wall. Caught one down the
That's
street.
a pretty nasty angle. And actually a really good spot as well to cover that entire street. I've never really considered that as a position because of how far forward it is.
Woods 43 is inching his way up. Thunder's almost expecting it. He spots him out.
Another one dead south. Or sorry, east.
Tensile's got to be pretty spooked about two of his teammates going down, and also I imagine Beginner's not entirely happy about it either. Losing these two members only under 2 minutes in, that can be seriously devastating, and I think this is just going to be a flank coming from Globo and strangling them out. The shots, unfortunately, from Smalls do take down the flank at Toast. Not going to be too big an effect from him.
Very characteristic of Globochem. As soon as they knew they had two down and there was 5 alive, they said, okay, let's turn it on. Let's start to rotate in, try and find the rest of this team and pick them off. Smoyle's almost expecting that, denies that from Toast, and tries to even the odds a bit. Thunder's standing up and rotating around here, and Kensai is looking for anything. A smoke coming out?
That's noise cover. That's what he was intending for. The noise cover to allow him to move up here. But I think he may have moved a little bit too quickly, and Thunder knows he's in this building now. We have another nade. Thunder's rushing it.
Oh, Kensai! That was almost a fantastic turn and toss on that nade. He heard Thunder's rotation through the smoke. His own smoke almost biting him in the butt there. And now Thunder's really confused. A nade just came out. Where the heck's that? Where's Kensai? I just checked this this building.
Yeah, he's got no idea if he's going for the counter flank again or if he's just sitting on this corner. So he's just watching his flank. Maybe another member of Globochem is going to come on there, rotate over and give him some backup. Maybe. But so far they seem relatively solid in their current positions. Pretty nice triple kill box as well on the objective.
2.5 minutes left. Kensai's been very held up here.
I find it interesting that Thunder Pilot has decided to not seek out Kensai here. He's not communicating to his team, so staying nice and silent. He's expecting Kensai to kind of get tunnel visioned on him and start focusing and looking for him in this building. This is actually holding up Kensai massively because there's 2 minutes down now. If he stays here and keeps looking for Thunder, he's going to get taken down. And if he moves away, he's also going to get taken down. But he is just keeping an eye on the buildings. He backs off now, which I'd say is the correct decision.
You wonder where the rest of beginners are. They have opted for a complete rotation south, all the way across the other side of the map.
Thunder's going to try and peek Kensai here. He's going to peek out his head in the window, but Kensai, he was behind the wall just a second at the right time.
Wow.
Kensai getting past the kind of northern side defense here. This could be a big problem for
I don't think
Globochem.
I'm in the east, but I'm going to try and watch for him flanking us.
I'm
I'll be
surprised.
ready for the 0-4.
Kensai is trying to peek this.
Called out to his team that he was trying to keep him held up here. Maybe they're going to try and go for a cap. So the two members in the western courtyard are starting to move in now. If they deal with Pants and also Auto, it's certainly cap territory.
Keep an eye over there on Kensai and Smoils, Killinger. They're coming up. Pants hears this, tries to toss a nade in. Yeah, that's a beautiful nade. Catches Killinger out. Killinger couldn't do anything about that. Thunderpilot finally confirming Kensai on the north.
Kebab 2 dead.
Killinger also getting confirmed. Smalls is going to rush in. He really wants to deal with Pants here.
Can't do it. Pants was ready for it, heard the footsteps, turned and burned, and with 20 seconds left, Globochem grabbed their own defensive round, and we're all tied up 1-1, as predicted.
Indeed, and we're seeing the Vault trade starting off, which is kind of interesting, I think. We haven't seen Globochem pull away on the Marsok. We haven't seen Beginners pull away on the Marsok. Marsok rounds have just been kind of devastating to both teams. No real advantage for either team on the first couple rounds, but as we said, they are the kind of rounds where teams are kind of getting used to playing in this match.
Just casually feeling each other out in the first couple of rounds here, and saw some interesting full squad maneuvers out of Globochem there to kick things off. It's nothing totally out of the ordinary, but it's not something that we see very often in the Master Leagues. You know, a team committing all 5 members to one route.
Yeah. Second round, though, the objective changed, and this is the one where we may see Beginners play differently. The ice cream objective, the what do you call this? The ice cream objective, the mince truck. I believe someone called it. No, the meat truck. Mince meat, close enough. If Beginners on their next round decide to play Marsok aggressively and fast, that could be very interesting. And if they play Volk also aggressively, we could be seeing another round go to Beginners for the Volk trade, and that would certainly be interesting.
We've seen both of these squads play this hard and fast. Kind of a tactic pioneered by SMC Tactical very early on, like Season 3, and not very often replicated, but it almost, I feel like it works almost every time a team does it. Fast spawn here for Globochem. We'll see what they opt to do, if they're going to run around east, take their time, or just go straight at it.
See the classic maneuver of Toast throwing his pistol on the floor. He really does not like that pistol for some reason.
He's defiant.
Rest of Globochem. They are starting to move up, and Raph has a shield. He has the shield. He's ready with it.
Not sure about that defensive smoke there.
Yeah, not sure about that, but the offensive ones are very good, and the early pick onto Icy Woods from Toast is also very good. Interesting position from Woods 43 here as well.
Look at this smoke
Never seen
wall,
someone
man.
play this.
Look at how good that smoke wall is. This whole team's going to be able to cross here. Pants in the middle, trying to keep a couple of the guys occupied and focused on him while the rest of his team dives in through that smoke and rotates up. Pants dumping more smokes out. A good frag! Catches him and insta-kills him. What a fantastic toss.
Oh, and a team kills with Raphael from Toast as well. That is not what they needed. Woods is going to try and rush around. He may be able to get a double kill. Maybe try and get a triple, but no. He just confirms Raphael and down Thunder. He's going to be getting revived immediately. That could have been very bad for Globochem.
Thunder's going to grab that shield. He'll be the one that tries to go rifle and snapshot. I don't think I've ever seen him opt into this, but he looks comfortable with it.
Perhaps maybe he's done some practice just specifically for that kind of moment if Raph goes down. On the northern side, though, Water picks up Killinger, the captain, taken down. Smoils now having to fill
Otto's
his
on
spot
objective.
the objective.
Or no, Smoils is on objective. Sorry, yeah, Smoils picking him up there. Sorry. The camera swapping around there threw me off.
Globochem a little bit split up here, I think. Toast and Thunderpilot, I would expect them to be kind of buddied up together, trying to push in from south, but they are an entire building apart.
I think Toast is worried about anybody on the far south side here. You can tell Thunder's also pretty concerned about any defensive positioning there, but maybe they're just unaware of, within that chaos, that there's only 2 left for Beginners.
abandoned his shield here, and he may be able to catch Kensai. Sees him moving on the objective. He downs him.
Down him.
Unfortunately, not able to get that kill off. Small's going to get the revive as well. Needs to use that shield to its full effectiveness, if possible.
Kensai heard Thunder drops that shield. Smoils finds Otto on that split rotation out there, and now we're into a 2v2.
We could be seeing a comeback from Globochem here, from beginners rather here. Small going to rotate into the 2-story. That could be really strong actually. That could catch out Thunder.
Nope, Thunder sees the gun barrel, sees the head in the 2-story. The flash is coming out towards him. Toast
Gets
trying
blinded.
to rebuff the smokes here. Smoils is rotated out. Thunder hears this to his left. He catches Smoils, unexpected. Now he's caught into a 1v2. A nice frag from Toast, and Globochem take a Marsoc round. Bit of a trade out there, actually. Whew, that was a close one.
Yeah, it was. I think that's what we're going to be seeing for the next couple rounds. Well, for the next couple rounds, the next many couple rounds, the next 3-4 maps even.
I think the next couple hours.
Yeah.
We're going to have ourselves a bit of a tight series, that's for sure. Beginners now definitely going to be wanting to answer back, and now's the time to maybe bust out that fast strategy, charge in on objective, heavy on smokes. I don't know. Let's we have some good clips though, some great replays we can tune into, courtesy of our good friend Sleepy. Let's bring him up here and kind of go over this amazing double frag coming out from Killinger that basically just shuts down this whole Globochem push.
Yeah, this play very crucial to beginners taking the first round. Globochem was making their push there on the north. You saw the smokes out and a grenade coming in from the Globo on the beginning of the clip. But Killinger rocks a nice grenade out there into the northwest corner of the street and then pushes up, gets his 2 confirms, but is immediately met by a refrag by Toast as he continues his push up towards the Kiat objective. And later, that double grenade does provide beginners with a round-altering kind of play there. That, and also Kensai, I believe it was, Kensai getting the early pick on Pants earlier in that round. So that was a great play, giving beginners that first round, but just a great grenade play overall.
Thank you very much, Sleepy. We'll be tuning into you throughout the rest of this fantastic series for more excellent replays as we dive into round number 4 of this first match. It's close, it's tight, it's going to stay that way, and let's get ready to rock for some more action.
Absolutely. Beginners not getting the spawn they quite wanted, I don't think. Globochem are preparing for a rush. So they are moving in some pretty good counter positions to that Toast in the south just by the pallets. Beginners getting the eastern spawn, not going to be too useful.
Well, it may play more into actually beginners' play style. You know, it's a bit of a slower spawn, and beginners will definitely want to take this nice and easy.
Hans has a pretty nice angle on the eastern side. He may be able to catch Killinger once he does decide to push out to the eastern side. The far east may be coming. Oh, never mind. Pants just spotted Killinger move about on the east side. He just barely poked his head out between the gaps in the bricks. Somehow he managed to see that.
Gee. That guy has incredible game awareness. He's so good at hearing footsteps and spotting any sort of movement. And I think it's just the amount of hours put into the game that all of these guys have. That they're just able to spot these tiny nuances. They just notice a little blip in a difference in a position they're so used to covering, and they know someone's there.
Yeah. I would be surprised if they've deliberately just stared at spots trying to memorize what that looks like in terms of colors. The second they see a black or a beige pixel move, they know that there is an enemy there instantly.
Okay, keep watching it.
Killinger peeking this is risky because Pants would have called this out, and Thunder, kind of interestingly enough, rotated to cover Pants' position. And where did Pants go? Whoa, he advanced a little bit. Yeah.
Way off.
No, Pants is pushed up a little bit.
Oh, he's moved forward.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen SMC play this position before, and it was really devastating.
Thunder, you're good. Watch the back there.
He could do some serious damage if Beginner starts their push up to the southeast here. Smiles and Killinger, they're going to have to be really careful about him.
He was looking at this stairway angle, and you can see Smoils is concerned about it, so he's aware. It's just unreal. These guys, they know all the positions. They know every angle. They're so, beginners in particular, because they check all the angles so religiously all the time for 6 minutes every round. They're so good at picking up every single, just like Globochem are. They can pick up any nuance, and they know where people are going to be.
But it seems they're not going for the fast play for this style. Well, this round at least, this particular objective, this map. Maybe we'll see it come out later, but we're certainly not seeing this round. They are being quite cautious, moving in their standard 2-2-1. I believe that is Kensai, yes, doing their overwatch from center. He's going to be the pretty big figure for beginners here, I think. Getting the overwatch for the catching people on their rotations is so important.
Smoils taking these early shots may notify Pants of his location. Pants did check this blue room, but yeah, Pants instantly rotates around. He sees the smokes coming out, and he is trained in on Smoils' position right now.
The Smalls peaks this. It's going to be a 5-4, but Smalls is looking, but it's unfortunately not enough. He gets taken down, and they are into a 5v4 now. The beginner's push is happening on the western side, though, and it's a fast one.
Yep, Kensai's charging in. The smokes are out. Checks his clock, 2:20 left on there, and they're really good smokes. They're covering all the angles, but they have to move now or they're not going to be useful. Raphael is basically stuck in blue room with very minimal vision, almost none. Autos here. The smokes are starting to dissipate. Kensai has moved up. Killinger's here. Raphael's going to poke out through the smoke. Killinger hears him, blind fires, and they've just traded positions. Raphael comes around and Killinger picks him off in the corner. It's chaos on objective right now.
Pretty much every member of beginners is on the objective. I don't know how Globochem hasn't fully rotated. I don't know how everybody hasn't died yet. Kensai is looking to take Auto. He's going to rush in. He really wants to deal with Auto. He's outside, popping off the shot. Going in, gets taken down by Auto.
Auto gets some shots in from Killinger. The back end. Trades going out left and right. Killinger trying to find some kills. Icy Woods in the 2-story looking for some action.
One in blue room, one in Jizzy Mart.
They have a bit of time. The locations are known. Pants looks like he's going to challenge Killinger on his corner spot. Killinger ducked behind this light. Doesn't pay off for him. A nice kill from Pants, and beginners now with only one left alive. Icy Woods in the 2-story. Toast catches him out, and Globochem secure themselves what looked like a round that they were in position to lose.
It really did. Beginners, I think, really did a massive misplay for that push. They got into those positions by some miracle, honestly. They got into really good positions, but they just waited for Globochem to rotate over. Maybe they were waiting for the angles that members of Globochem would cross over and they could catch them. But either that didn't happen or they just weren't sure how to proceed from there.
Take a look at another replay here, courtesy of our wonderful co-caster, Sleepy. This is that wild frag onto Pants that just snookers itself into that little wood crate, and then the rest of the team has all sorts of trades, team kills, and chaos on that west side. We're into our barn burner of a match right now, Sleepy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's been amazing, and in this clip you can see exactly why. Initially coming in, you can see Killinger getting a nade onto Pants. Then off in the west, we see an accidental team downing from Toast onto Raphael. Thunder's going to go for the res, but he's also going to get the trade in with, I believe it was Kensai, and then Toast's going to come in to bring up Thunder Pilot, and Thunder's going to assimilate Raphael's shield there, and Globochem going to end up taking that round, bringing it up 2-1, taking the advantage with their offensive round. But a great play, and I think a tied Turner, I would say. But getting Pants and Killinger, though, they're just trading frag grenades back and forth. It's been crazy between those two.
Yeah,
so many grenades going off right now.
It is insane, and it's to be expected, right? I mean, this is exactly what you see in these really high-tier matchups, these really wild trades. Killinger diving around corners trying to confirm people and going for double kills, and I anticipate more as we get into our next round. Sleepy, thank you much. We'll bring you in for this more high-octane action. Round number 5. It's hard to do math. In this first match.
You're gonna need that
I'm gonna
snipe.
watch the center
Indeed.
street, then I'll meet up.
And with this Raphael shield, with this western objective, the mini market objective, I do expect Globochem to rush in here. With a 2-point lead, they must be feeling confident here. The first map starting off like this, they're going to be feeling really, really happy about this, for certain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see Raph here, shield user, Thunder Pilot tightly behind him. A nice smoke. Interesting smoke coming out there.
Is that our smoke? Is that our smoke?
Seems to have kind of confused Thunderpilot and Raphael here. They think that's a friendly smoke. Now they're actually having to check that smoke because they aren't sure if it's friendly or enemy. So that could potentially hold up their push here, cause a little bit of issues.
It has held up Thunder at the very least. Raph has continued on. He has that shield though. He's free to sort of peek any angle and push forward. And beginners have a bit of a lack of coverage over here on this angle in particular. Raph could basically go straight into blue room, free and easy.
Yeah, that could be a really big issue for them because all that takes then is just to prone up a few well-placed smokes and they could potentially get a cap here. But on the northern side, we do have Woods also facing off. He could get a double kill.
I think you have to come a little bit here, but yeah. I mean, see, I don't know.
Hanson Toast is certainly playing a dangerous game, just waltzing through the street here.
Get off your radio, please.
Your Toast calling for quiet comms. Listening for footsteps as he pushes up here. And yeah, you're right. Pants is so open here. Woods catches him out by Dumpster with some... I mean, it's almost a position that's so standard you don't expect it anymore.
Yeah. It's always someone on this northern side by either the pallets or the dumpster. There's going to be someone there. I'm surprised we honestly don't see more nades there. I've never seen someone nade this position, really.
Yeah, empty all the...
Flipping back, though, to that southwest side with Raph and Thunder.
Stay back.
They're using the shield. I love how the teams do this. With experienced shield users, they do the kind of pop-up game. You've got the shield below covering the torso and the legs, and you have the player popping up when he sees people and where the shield calls him out.
Copy.
Just the perfect way to use a
Yeah,
shield.
last one. I think it was Pants.
And finally, they spotted him. Yeah, those shots starting to come in. And nade. A long range one. Air bursting him. Downs Raph.
You down?
And a reconfirmed catches Thunder. Raph gets picked up, and now Thunder needs to call out for a res, but that is not going to happen.
What a fantastic series of nades there. We saw also during the Blaze match, the confirming nades. They are so strong if you use them right. That's 2 players gone now. No chance they're getting picked up.
Well,
A member of Globo is trying to rotate
yeah.
for it, but beginners are definitely going to try and cover this angle. They want to ensure that that guy isn't going to get picked up.
it's kind of something we've talked about with the whole time management thing here. Globochem started to make their moves and got caught out, but they have enough time to recoup here. Otto can rotate the long way around, come all the way around the south side of the map here, and pick up his teammate who is down on the corner.
And it's going to be a vital pick, and Thunder should be able to pick up that shield yet again and use it, hopefully, to more effect. Thunder back up. Maybe Globochem, not Globochem, maybe beginners won't be expecting them to kind of continue to push up here, even with the confirmed 2 down at least, with the shield on the west and the nades.
There's that
But
revive.
Globo, they also have the time to rotate away. Maybe trying for a revive, the back off,
They have mini
pop off some
courtyard.
shots, then rotate back.
You know, Toast has control of mini courtyard. They can easily cross this street here and have 3 members in this mini courtyard area being threatening, peeking angles, looking for picks.
Globo have got to pick up the pace a little bit because they're going to get forced to move pretty shortly. Minute 40, and the guys in the center market are trying to rotate as fast as they can, but it might not be enough. They will need an entry frag here if they want to move in.
Woods
don't get the entry
43.
frag.
Yeah, I don't think he was spotted up by Toast. He catches him out on the rotation, and it's going to cause worry for Thunder and Otto. A minute 24 left. If Woods just holds this angle and doesn't get picked off, I think he'll be able to find more. These guys are not checking this box here in that back corner.
Yeah, that entry frag maybe not going to the correct side that Globochem hoped. Water and Thunder moving at kind of the perfect pace though. Thunder's trying to go straight into this building with Kensai.
They're both going to run
Oh,
into
but no, Icy
members.
Woods.
Oh,
Yeah,
Woods.
Icy Woods covering this angle as well.
The Woods brothers all in danger. Woods 43 crosses over. Thunder tosses out some smoke. Kensai has to hear these footsteps, and now he's a bit worried about that window position.
There are so many angles that they have to cover right now as they push in.
Thunder finds one, gets fragged on the backside by Kensai. Auto trades with Woods, and beginners grab themselves around, hang on to the map, and they're now going to have to pick up a Marsoc round if they want to stick with it.
They will indeed. I do kind of think they are going to pick up a Marsoc round here for beginners, because I think they're going to use that pace, and they're just going to use it well. Issue is, if Globochem decide to play an aggressive Volk, that could really destroy beginners, because we saw it there. Even Globochem ran almost out of time during that round, and beginners who like to play even slower, if Globochem just hold up the members by playing aggressive and not allowing themselves to get taken down, we could see them run out of time here like they have during the round robin stage.
We've had some really crazy exchanges today already in this series. There's been really interesting smoke plays, people getting caught up and twisted around on each other, really close interactions with enemies. Like, it has been an interesting start. Chaotic almost, really.
I would definitely also describe it as chaotic. Nobody had any clear pattern, any clear logic to it. The trades, the movements, I don't know why, but it's kind of just enigmatic. Maybe we're just not capable of processing the skills of Globochem and beginners, or at least I'm not.
Just looking back at I'm not sure why Sleep didn't give me this replay, but it was posted. We'll take a look. We'll pull them in for the next round because no time to take a look at replays. Beginners are going to be going on the offensive. They're going to be trying to hang on to this map. It is important to note
Yeah, they
that
don't want to lose this one.
yeah, this is Globochem's map pick. They are the home team here in this situation. They are 20 MMR ahead of beginners.
Honestly, I think Globochem has more to lose if they lose this map here. It was their pick, and and it's not just that, but if beginners come back here from a 3-1 to bring it to a 4-3, Globochem will be, I think, maybe a little bit upset about that. The comeback on their map pick, that hurts for any team, I think.
Taking stock of defensive positions here from Globochem. Pretty weak on the south side. Now looking at it.
Sure what those smokes were for, honestly. I think they may have been a little bit of a distraction for members of beginners, just so they can think, hey, there's someone maybe crossing over to the southwest that will contend with us.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Smalls is going way to the southwest here.
Okay, I see. Listen,
Just playing
listen, GZ
a pretty
likes to be-
interesting position. I've never seen someone play this on
GZ
the
likes to be
objective.
on the south side.
Prone, you got the cover from the southwest side from
exploring
those
GZ
little bricks
might
next
be.
to him. You got the cover from the front from the objective, and you got your teammates surrounding you, making sure you don't get flanked. It's actually a pretty strong position. It just depends if you can actually catch someone peeking that pallets building.
South side of Middle Road.
I was hearing Smoils trying to talk to his team, and they were kind of shutting him up.
I find it interesting that he's opted for an M249 here. He normally uses his SA80, but M249, I'm kind of feeling some suppression here. Normally that's the gun people take for suppression just because you can just pump out an insane amount of ammo.
I see. Did you get what it is?
Compared to the SA80 where normally you give away your drum mags to teammates, I believe the fire rate is a little bit slower than the M249 as well.
He'll come out from his cover and shoot me. He's by the fence there. Okay.
just patiently waiting, you know. I'm just trying to see who has the angles, who is looking for any shots, and right now beginners are just being cautious of any forward positioning from Globochem, but Globo is pretty tucked in.
3 minutes 30.
Yeah, they're not really feeling too comfortable for peeking out, it seems. Beginners are slowly starting to push their way up in the north here, and Pants. This is not a position people play too often for this objective, though it does happen. He may get double or triple kill, because Kensai and Killinger are making so much noise, he knows that they're there, right next to him, for certain.
Yeah, he's absolutely aware of it. He, for the first time in probably a long time, will probably stay quiet in this corner. There's that suppression you were talking about from Smoils in the south. Double LMG.
Woods is also backing him up there, yeah. An interesting tactic, and it may actually be the cause of Raphael's death. He's kind of being a bit dangerous using the window. Here comes this northern push as well.
Pants doesn't catch Woods crossing. Does get Kensai. Woods is still moving up.
He's totally slipped through. This could be really bad for Globochem. If he plays his cards right, he could just walk the objective. But there goes Pants on the north, and refrac immediately from Thunder though. If Thunder rotates back to the objective, he could catch Woods before he becomes too big of a problem.
Pants is resable, and within the smokes, Thunder's going to go get that res. Turns it back into a 5v3. Woods is still up here, sneaked in. And those two, I mean, he could, I don't know. I don't think he has a chance here. Otto's prone. Did he not see Otto or Raph?
He was looking towards the eastern side, the northeast there, but he's going to peek around the corner again, take down Raph. I see Woods. Southwest also going down. Pants is actually rushing Smiles here. Takes down Smiles as well. Now it is just the man behind. I see Woods 43, but everyone on Globochem is converging at him. This is
the last Alamo
awful
for Woods here. He's going to have to hold off. He has a minute 13. Almost some team kills coming out in the chaos, and Toe's calling it out.
They know he's in there.
Oh my gosh, he's really sandwiched.
You can hear Pants talking to himself as well. It's just like being tortured. You can just hear him muttering about where he is, and there goes Pants finally. 4-2 on Bazaar from Globochem. That's good.
Strong performance. Them almost overcome there. Woods, if he was maybe a little faster, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. A little bit faster. He could have used the suppression to his advantage. I thought that's what he was doing. Using the suppression as noise cover to move up, but apparently not. I guess him shooting Raphael kind of spooked him into moving too much, because he knew that the other members nearby the objective would be rotating to make sure he can't get up there, and he wanted to give his teammates a bit more of a chance to move up before he also moved up from the inside. But I think Pants moving out, taking down the suppressors, that was vital.
I think we can bring up a couple of replays here from that last round. Let's see what he has to say on these bad boys. First replay we'll pull up here is that double frag to stop the western push. That really nice air burst, and then right away that follow-up frag. Sleepy, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, this is on such an incredible frag.
Yeah, it really was. Killinger right on point with this first frag. I believe it was after they had kind of put some suppression on with their little turtle shell technique. But the fragging on that play was just great, and it ends up slowing down or stopping the western push from Globochem in that round, and the beginners ending up able to take that in the end. Thunder Pilot does eventually get revived, but he's later taken down in a quick refrag after a kill later on in that round. But yeah, overall, great play from them there.
Gosh, that airburst was so unreal. And I think we're going to go back in rounds a bit here to that dancing in the smoke, the absolute chaos on that Humvee objective where the smokes are out. Killinger dives into blue room. Raphael passes him. Killinger gets the pick, and for a minute there, it looks like beginners might have had control on the objective. I don't know if you recall that one. It was really utter chaos, and I think this was the one that beginners could have come back on. They could have really changed the pace of this match. They could have probably gotten a cap, but they couldn't string together the remaining picks, and this series has just been a great start, a great way to kick things off on Bazaar.
Yeah, it really has been.
I think we are getting prepped and ready for our next map here.
All right.
Going to be cargo. Wow, this is beginner's map pick?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested by this. I did not expect cargo to be a map that they would pick here.
Sleepy, well, we got you. What are your thoughts on a map pick of cargo coming out from beginners?
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I feel like they should be quite afraid here because Globo, very strong team for cargo. And I mean, beginners played it fairly well, but I think Raphael and that shield might do way too much damage to them.
We have talked about Raph as the OG of the shield strategies. Naoko and everybody else sort of spurring from him, but I mean, they dealt with the double shield from Blaze pretty well here. Maybe that's where that confidence is coming in. They feel like they can handle a team that plays it fast. They feel like they have strategies for it, maybe.
Maybe so, yeah. I mean, Raph definitely kind of the OG originating gangster of the shield play, and he's for sure the one who's probably put the most dedication into learning and figuring it out. Maybe now also to be rivaled by Naoko, but he's still a newer player to the game in comparison to Raph, I'd say. I mean, I may be wrong, but yeah, Raph definitely one of the originating shield players and definitely one who's put in the time to learn it and know it well. So we'll see. But yeah, it's a bold move from beginners for sure.
Just coming from the spectator sides of things so far, Sleepy, do you think, what way do you think the audience is leaning? Are they beginners or Globochem favoring in this series?
I think most people have their favorites already, and I think it's split a lot based on geographic location. I think, you know, a lot of the EU players want beginners to win for the EU. A lot of the US teams or the NA teams want Globo to win because of the NA, and then you have some people who want Globochem not to win because they want them not to be in first place again. I mean, it's a mixed bag of everything, but there's definitely a lot of Globochem supporters. There we go. Supporters. There's not a lot of Globochem supporters. No, I'm just kidding. There are a lot of Globochem supporters here in the audience on the Twitch chat. NightFiree, we're gonna have to send it back to you in the studio now, so that Sleepy can recover his persona.
Thank you very much, Sleepy. Perfect timing as we dive into the second map here, round number 1, match 2. The suppressive fire raining in from beginners and not going to catch any Globochem members out.
I'm sorry, what do you say? I can barely hear you, NightFiree. So much suppression. This is exactly what they did with Blaze, but this time not picking anyone off at least.
It looks pretty silly against a team that doesn't play insanely aggressive, doesn't it? It's like, what the heck are they doing? Why are they just shooting all their bullets right now?
It can be quite a good tactic though against aggressive teams like we saw with Blaze, or say also Danglers. It works quite well against. I know this was a tactic that Silent Perks did consider. Fortunately, we were never able to actually get it to fully work off. It takes quite a bit of discipline to get the right angles to fire at the right times. That's quite a bit of practice to do. We have seen it works out here, so maybe some more teams will pick it up as the season goes on, as we go into season 7 rather.
I think that's getting great.
Still laughing from Sleepy.
Pretty sure
Recover yourself.
Sorry.
Recover your persona,
Sorry.
Nightfire. It's actually almost kind of a relaxed, a bit of a passive positioning from Globochem with Auto way in the northern side here. All the other positions are rather standard, with the exception of Pants being very aggressive. I've never seen someone get inside the container before, but Auto is sitting very far back, seemingly trying to just deny the cap in case something goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, I think Pants is just gonna be here listening. I think he's their audio cue kind of guy. He's the guy, we've talked about this before, cranks up the audio so he can hear any sort of footsteps. Sure, gunfire blasts his eardrums out and he'll be deaf by 2 years, but he can hear the footsteps, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Is he using a sight as well? I can't quite tell. Yeah, he's using a red dot. No, it's a hollow sight, but it's so close against his eye that it's hard to see because it clipped into his model because he's holding the gun right up to his face. In fact, you saw it at OC5. They have a really interesting tactic on Globochem with holding the gun. They actually open their jaw to kind of adjust the height of their gun, and it looks rather ridiculous, but it is also seemingly quite effective.
Smokes here coming out. Pants trying to catch a nade. Raph with the frag, getting caught by a frag ragger, and Pants looks like he's going to go for a long flank. This is really risky.
It really is. They do get the revive onto Raphael.
Oh.
Killinger's going to take down Pants. He goes into the tunnel. Smoils also getting taken down on the east, and here goes Killinger, also taken down in a refrag by Raphael.
Toast catches Woods on the corner, and there's only one remaining member alive for beginners as Globochem have picked off every single member of beginners trying to enter in. Woods does not lose the trade there. And Globochem go up 1-0 on Cargo.
I think Woods there was accidentally on single fire. You heard the one shot, and unfortunately he then got shortly shot after. Always got to make sure you're on the right firing mode when you're peeking a corner. Wow, toast that round, man.
Whoa.
4 kills picked up by him there. Surprisingly, Pants not getting anyone even in the most aggressive position on the team.
I was struggling to follow the action there because Pants was going around for a long flank. The rest of beginners were pushing up. He gets caught out on the right side. There's action going on deep in those smokes, people trading there. It's interesting for Toast to catch so many out in his position because he was tucked back behind these canisters, right, in this corner.
Yeah.
Like, to catch that many kills out from there.
He must have played it aggressively.
Yeah.
He must have.
I did see him peek it once, so he must have been peeking it a couple of times, catching that rotation out from beginners, trying to go through the smokes.
One thing that surprised me, though, is that Pants' maneuver through that tunnel, I'm kind of surprised he went for that. It is the safe rotation, unless you know there's an enemy nearby, in which case they can hear the footsteps, peek the doorway, and they can shoot you from halfway across the map because it's just a single straight line with no cover. So the fact that he did that is honestly rather surprising. I thought that he may try and go for a more aggressive, slightly more dangerous move, going straight through the kind of tunnel lane just on the outside, and then flank Killinger and the rest from there, but the long-range move, definitely not working out there.
See how Globochem, answer back on the offensive.
Hey, just give me
The
one
sort of strategy they go with and see if they can take this lead to 2-0.
Kanside's got his C4 there. He's got the C4 and he's saying he's playing aggressive. This will be interesting. In fact, we've seen 3 members of aggressive beginners. I feel like we're in the wrong dimension, NightFiree.
I know, man. It's really loud. Toast trades. I can't. Hello?
Hello, we had 2 members of beginners go down and one of Globochem in a trade. Icy Woods also picked off on the east. It's a 2v4,
Oh my
ready, 2v1,
gosh.
never mind. And a confirmed by a team kill. Toast though picks up Toast. Smalls rather.
He's the last one alive, and Thunder grabs him. Globochem storming in under the incredibly loud suppressive fire of the LMGs, pinging off of all that Metal, I mean, that's an interesting strategy that I honestly think they were going for. They wanted to completely drown out footsteps, right? And so if you just have constant pinging of metal, you don't know if a guy's pushing hard, if he's going to be crashing around a corner. Those audio cues kind of go out the window for you. I legitimately think that's what Globochem was doing. I couldn't even hear.
Maybe that's why they use the M249, because it's just so loud, so much louder than the SA-80.
Honestly, noise suppression there on a close quarters map like this, it's
super effective.
Yeah, it really is. That was a quick one, huh? We were done with that in 40 seconds?
Yeah, 45 seconds. Actually, no, 37 seconds. 38 seconds, something like that. Quick maths, courtesy of the VR Master League. We're correct 60% of the time, every time. Don't worry about it. Now, please do have a calculator on hand in case we suddenly fail to do our mathematics correctly.
And I don't want to give Pwnecake any sort of false confidence, but he definitely did sort of predict noise suppression in a quick cap there in the chat. It's exactly what Globochem do. Beginners using that noise suppression instead of just sort of hopefully catch anybody out, trying to go fast. But Globochem instead sort of using it as a noise suppression sort of technique, and the rest of their team is just charging forward.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't try and go for a mirror SMC Tactical versus Lemon Squad cap, where he just rushed straight in with no regard for his own safety or the safety of anybody else. He just went straight through, tablet in hand. Maybe they'll do it just for fun later on. We'll have to see.
Keep it up, please.
Globochem looking good so far in the series, though. They took Bazaar 4-2.
Okay.
Beginners, they really need to get themselves on the board here. They need this map. They need this round, rather. Or I think this map is really going to start to run away in Globochem's favor.
Yeah, I do expect more suppression coming up from Beginners and maybe some more aggressive moves from Globochem too. Beginners seem to opt for an eastern focused kind of offense here. Didn't work out so well last round, but now that there's not a guy by the bows on the eastern side, it could work out a lot better for them this time round. They will have to deal with Pants, as he's the kind of main threat if they want to cross over.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to note that they have rotated their defense and changed it up a little bit. These objectives are basically identical in most regards in terms of how you want to set up and defend them. But we don't see Toast up there by those barrels anymore. Instead, he's dropped back.
Yeah. But Beginners, they're kind of just watching their angles really steadily. Even Smoils, way in the southeast side, is watching towards the tunnel exit. They're thinking of someone coming through tunnel, so Smalls is watching the angle, especially for looking through tunnel. Well, especially looking for people coming out of tunnel.
I think they're worried about Pants there trying to flank, and he did try to do it last time, so they're aware
of the Pants coming from where they don't expect it. But I don't think Globochem's going to try and do anything dangerous by going for a flank or something at this point. Pants knows that they haven't got any picks. He knows that there aren't really any holes in the defense of the offense, so to speak, so he can't really afford to do anything that he might know there are holes in the defense, because he doesn't know there are any. So he's going to play it safe until one of those holes does appear, and then they're just going to pull out the standard Globochem tactic of using that and being incredibly reactive, and then just pushing through that and causing major issues for Beginners. Unless Beginners can expect that, that's how I think this round's going to go for them.
I think
a domino effect, so to speak.
I think Beginners are going to try to play more into their slow strategy. I feel like they've been trying to go a little bit quicker in this cargo map. They've been moving forward a bit faster in time. And I think maybe this is the round they're really going to wait it out, probably till 2 minutes before they start to smoke and try and push up through the middle.
That means the next minute and 20 seconds roughly are going to be just the time to wait for people on the side of Globochem to move. Pants is still just locked in place looking at the doorway. occasionally talking and tapping on his radio.
Yeah, he is
The
clicking.
rest of the beginners just sitting there.
He's definitely clicking in on that radio.
Approaching the 2-minute 30 mark now. Smalls has rotated over and we may see them trying to break through and deal with the pants before anything else.
30.
This is it.
Yeah, the smokes are coming out.
And flash there. Unfortunately not going to have an effect like it did last round.
Oh, Smoils. Team kills. Killinger catches pants out in the middle. He's pushing up into the smoke. He gets down by C4 from Raph.
Expertly placed at the very start of the round. Now it's just the 2 members left. Killinger also confirmed by that nice nade from Raph. Nice and long range too. Just those 2 in the center.
Thunder is pushing up using the smoke to mask his footsteps. Smoils hears it, tries to turn and fire. Can't get it. Woods trying to catch Thunder on the backside, but now Woods under a lot of fire from all sorts of angles. He gets 2. He's trying to salvage this round. He's in a 1v2 now. He has a minute 47. He's rotating around the left side. Raphael finally denies him, and Globochem go up 3-0.
If your prediction from earlier is correct, then this map is going to Globochem, and it's going strong to them as well. This could go 4-0. Globochem just need to play their cards right for this Master round, and boom, they have it.
They are running away with this series right now. If they can grab this second map, we could be coming down. I mean, it will be coming down to that potential final map, a third map. It will be Globochem's map choice, too.
Yeah, and there are more, at most 3 more maps after this, so Quarantine probably going to get picked by Globochem. Suburbia,
I was thinking
probably
maybe
get picked again by Globochem. Downfall then.
Yeah, I think Suburbia would be the next map after this, and
yeah,
they'll be looking to take another close quarters map against beginners for sure.
Yeah. Maybe they want to kind of distract them because Quarantine, Globochem are notoriously good at, but beginners, they're no slouches on it either compared to say Suburbia.
Right.
Beginners are still good on Quarantine, but not as good as Globochem, but it's a lot safer to try for a Suburbia where, you know, as you said, they're already warmed up for the smaller maps. They're already kind of in the right mindset for it.
Even if it's, yeah, they have so much freedom now too, you know. They can play Suburbia a little more aggressive than they normally would. They can lose Suburbia and they're still in a good position because, like you said, they're going to go into a map. Either way, Quarantine or Downfall, they're confident on, and it's just looking better and better for Globochem. Beginners, this is it. They need, I mean, it's not it, but they really need to get this this map back on track. They need to start their comeback now.
Yeah. We are seeing also a shield finally, the first time from this map, I think, from Raphael.
I think he used it
I
early on.
didn't play it in the early rounds. Did he?
Yeah.
During the first rounds of Cargo? I must have forgotten somehow. But now he's using it at least, and they're going through tunnel.
No, you're right. I don't think he has.
This tunnel play with the shield could be questionable.
I don't know. It's variety, you know. It's something
What
new.
is Killinger doing here? He's rushing straight out, trades with pants.
I was focused on this nade toss from Raph. It does catch Woods out. Kensai's here at the wood. Another nade coming out towards him. Tries to run away, and he's insta-killed. Raph just dumping nades out here on the beginners. Smoil's gonna pick up a res, and Icy Woods pushing up. Catches Thunder out. There's a trade there. Thunder's resable. Another nade from Raph almost catches Woods and Smoils, and there's all sorts of frags getting dumped here.
The 2v4 not looking good for beginners here.
Not at all, as Toast catches a slight sliver of Woods. And it's all up to Smoils to hang on to this map as Globochem are going to converge in with 4 alive.
He has his trusty PKM at least, but Raphael is going to be the one to kind of spot out Smoils here and give away the information. Toast and Auto, they're both going to collapse in on this spot. Toast could actually cap it, but no.
decides not to, and instead take up the frags, grab the beginner's map choice of Cargo 4-0, and I don't know, maybe our scoreboard is doing the predicting here. We could be going into just 3 maps today.
That would be a shock. That really would be a shock.
I mean, we've talked about we watched Globochem play, you know, and we talk about how good this league is this season. They usually have been struggling against these top tier teams, but we're just not really seeing that today. Globochem, I don't know, I feel like almost maybe beginners aren't playing at their top tier level right now.
Well, it's going to be one or the other, but I think it is just beginners not quite playing up to the kind of standard they would hope of themselves. They're having just the issues with, thinking back on it, it feels like they just aren't getting the picks when they need them, and that's the biggest issue. Globochem, they're just kind of sitting back in cover, and beginners are having a hard time adapting to that. That's what it feels like, at least.
Pull up Sleepy here. He's in the middle of all this high octane action. He's grabbed us a little clip here of Globochem storming away here on this map. Sleepy, this has been a interesting series so far, and Globochem doing some serious work. Why don't you just go break us down this clip here? And I mean, the nades are everywhere. They're abundant today.
Yeah, they really are. And in the start of this clip, you'll see Pants and Killinger get a quick trade, and also Toast grabbing Kensai. Then you'll see some smokes start to come out from Globochem, maybe some frags out, I believe, also from beginners. Toast is going to grab IC Woods in the northeast corner of the map. Also, Raphael's going to get down by, or Woods going to get down by Raphael's grenades. Woods had his own grenade, which kills himself. Smoyle's going to come around and pick one, and then as Smoyles is focused on Raph Thunderpilot, comes out of that tunnel and just roasts Smoyles for the round win, and Globochem go up 2-0 there. So Globochem really looking to be a force to reckon with here. So hopefully beginners can find something to turn this around, because this is going to be interesting to see what happens next.
They're in peak shape right now. You know, Globochem are just moving so well together. You can see that in this clip in particular. I mean, you look at you look at the map in the corner, and you just see the entire blue line advancing forward together. You know, there's no one really lagging member there. It's everybody is advancing coordinated at the same time. It's really an impressive amount of team coordination.
I honestly don't know how they do that. I can't tell if it's just them playing together for over 2 years now and knowing how each other move down to an impeccable degree, or they're like listening to each other's footsteps. They're constantly communicating. I can't quite figure out which one of the three it is.
You're talking about Globochem, correct?
Yeah.
Because if so, it's gotta just be that amount of time that they put in. I mean, they know where each other are going to be, because that's where they should be, and
that's where they always have been. That's where they've been in the hundreds of rounds they've played.
I mean, even when they're trying to do things fresh and on the spot, like when they're at LAN events and Jizzy's drawing up, or Pants is drawing up things on the boards in the tent, they're still able to know where each other are. But I think their communication, like you'll see, Pants is not afraid to give up his positioning for a little communication. So I don't think any of that team is really willing to do that unless that's their mission, to be sneaky. I think the entire team is very vocal about their comms, and you could probably paint a picture from listening in onto the comms of Globochem if you were to do so, I bet.
That would be an interesting experiment.
Right?
We could really just have one round where you listen to comms and someone tries to draw out on a map the locations that they're moving to.
Exactly.
We could get Smalls to draw
It'd
it
be a
out.
fun little game. I doubt Globochem would let us listen to their comms for a whole round, though. But
I don't think they would let beginners, in particular, listen to their comms either.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Globochem definitely just laying it on thick here on Cargo.
It keeps getting laid on thick too. Globochem are just a team that is not letting up. I haven't even looked at what our next map is going to be, Bucks, because we've been so focused on how dominating Globochem are performing, but it is going to be Quarantine, as you predicted. I thought we maybe would hit Suburbia, but Globochem opting for Quarantine as their next map, and we're in no time here. We dive into this third map. Round 1.
They do like their Quarantine. They really do like it, and they are good at it as well.
Globochem are getting
Would you
that.
classify this as a quick spawn?
Yeah, I was just about to say they're
that
getting
kind
the
of
fast
Western
spawn.
thing with this spawn. It is a good one. Ruff's playing his shield, and they're somehow already aware of Kensai's kind of positioning in that western side, being spotted out. They know they can't afford to stay here in kind of a fear of a grenade. Nades over an ambulance, they can be devastating. We might see another Killinger double kill.
They'll have to be patient on that nade and kind of wait for Raph and Thunder to inch their way up. Interesting to see on this quick spawn how slow Globochem is playing it. They haven't alerted anyone to their presence. They've been crouched, trying to stay hidden for the most part. Raph is looking for any sort of information, but beginners don't know the spawn yet.
No, they do not. They've been deliberately quiet about this, which is definitely a good tactic and a very interesting spot. I'm not quite sure how to describe this from Woods 43. We saw it yesterday, slightly altered now. This is... I'm not quite sure what purpose this serves, NightFire.
I don't have the insight either. It is a unique move. The smokes here coming out from Globochem, and they are many. What is this, 6 smokes coming out here?
Yeah, and that nade would have killed anyone on the stairs as well. That's some serious practice. A counter nade comes out and it does down Raphael. They all can get the revive, and if another one comes out from Killinger, it could be deadly.
I'm surprised that Globochem aren't more wary of a follow-up frag. You hear Pants there. He saw his team moving a little bit slow through the smoke, and he urges them to speed it up. They have to get going as those smokes just start to die out. Pants completely exposed here. Killinger, not sure what happened. He didn't take any shots there. Pants is so exposed right now.
Knows where he is, though. He heard him talking. He's going to be rushing. He's going to be firing over the wall. There's a trade between the two. Pants, though, Reservoir, most likely going to pick him up also immediately.
Being suppressed by Woods, but he will get picked up. And
Thank you so much.
Woods 43 from the rooftop out of nowhere. His rotation, an interesting one, does catch one out on the back end, evens the odds a bit, and he instantly drops back from the roof.
I'm coming down off the roof. Yeah, friendly in the front.
If he goes base of roof here and tries to kind of deal with Pants, that could be seriously deadly, because I don't think Pants is going to expect him to be rotating down here to the kind of exact location, just on a different vertical level.
Wonder if he has any utility available here. He doesn't need it as he gets Pants out in the open, completely unexpected, and Globochem are starting to lose members. Otto here, now in a bit of a pinch. Has to worry about his backside as Woods 43 has grabbed Pants there, and he also has to worry about the front suppression from Icy Woods.
Also, the nades coming over from the western side. It's just he's totally trapped in here, though. Icy Woods hasn't been taken down, and that's going to open up also a little bit.
Raphael with the shield, he's starting to push as well. Beginners are starting to lose a bit. A good frag almost catches him out. A nice pickup from Kensai. Huge pickup from Kensai. If he lost that trade, it would have been bad news for beginners.
Yeah. With Raphael, I don't think he realizes that he's the last one left here on this kind of a southwestern side. This could be a big issue. I think he might try and rotate over to his friend's corpse just to pick up that gun so he can flick with it.
Otto's grabbed the middle burning building. Beginners have one Reservoir, and shots from Kensai don't quite land onto Otto. He's going to get pushed from the right side with the shield from Raph. No, Raph is getting the weapon, like you said.
Throwing a smoke. That smoke, I think, just bounced off Kensai almost.
Oh, but that scare him enough. A nice nade from Smoils. Otto caught Kensai on the rotation and gets punished for it with a nade onto him, and now it's all up to Raph, the shield user. That was my computer, sorry.
Oh, fuck.
This is going to be difficult for Raphael to pull off. He knows he's the last one left. He's got the gun. He's using it kind of as a pop-up shield again. A very strong tactic, but can he actually deal with Smiles? He's got the superior cover over there.
Oh, he dropped.
Just at the wrong
He
time.
dropped off just at the wrong time.
Always happens in Onward. You look away at just the wrong second.
Well, he only has so much time. He's got a minute left. Smoils just has to stay tucked into that corner. And I wonder if he spotted him when he peeked up over that little crack. Here, Raph wants him to peek, and Smoils is not going to do it now again. He did it twice. He gave Raph 2 opportunities, and he couldn't seize them.
What Raph really needs right now is just some kind of nade. Or a flash even would be good. I think Raph saw a move there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he grabbed that shield just in the nick of time. Smoils peeks through that little crack. And the shield
He's
uses
just
from
wasting
Raph,
time.
dude.
That's all they're doing here. They're trying to delay him to run out of time.
He only has 30 seconds. As he tries to rotate around, Icy Woods catches him in the back. And Beginners, it looked a bit shaky for a little bit as Pants was crashing into that middle bazaar, the middle burning building area. But good denial from Beginners as they grabbed their first round.
Yeah. But if they hadn't held, if Woods 43 hadn't held up the kind of center burning push, that could have been devastating for Beginners, and Globochem could have easily took that round. That one kind of pick onto Pants on the center, and also the distraction of just Woods 43 being in that kind of general base of roof area, that was really strong. But I'm not sure what the kind of starting position inside the pipe was. That still confuses me.
Trying to innovate, trying out something new.
Trying something new. I guess it did work out in the end. I guess it did technically work out fine.
Yeah, who are you to question their strategies, Bucks?
Who am I to question these strategies? I have the bird's eye view, and I do not have the first person view.
That's a huge round for Beginners right there. After losing 4-2 to your first map pick, you're losing 4-2 to their map pick, losing 4-0 to your map pick, and then coming into quarantine.
Not so hot.
No, that's a really important round for them to win, though. I think that's why.
I kind of predicted in my notes that if Beginners start causing issues on Q1, they might bring out Arsenic just for the kind of headshots across the map, because that's seriously strong. Arsenic's done some serious damage that way, but I don't know if he's available, because I think they will bring him out if he is available on quarantine, because he does do damage with the 12 times. He's been training his headshots over the past couple of weeks, I think, and it has worked out very well for him.
One round definitely doesn't count Globochem out, though. They'll go all out to respawn, and we are going to get mirrored spawns. Beginners also getting that south approach.
Positions are not so mirror, though, on the side of Globochem. I think if they do make some noise over ambulance, I think Toast here at the base of the burning building is going to throw a nade over there. But I think Beginners are opting for more of a gas station focused push here. Beginners kind of bickering over the rock on the south side, yeah. Killing just looking for the pick in the west corner. If he gets that onto auto, that could be vital for Beginners. He's being pretty aggressive, peeking the hole in the wall. But Killing just seemed a little bit kind of scared to peek over the wing.
We need to smoke the south road on. Yeah, watch out.
I think
Few nades over ambulance as well, not really hitting anything.
Yeah, but I do think Globochem are aware of this spawn. You can see a rotation really far north. Who is that way up there? I think they're going to try and take rooftop control. And that could be really bad news for Smoils if he doesn't get out of here. And Woods, too. Woods is very exposed to a rooftop angle.
It feels like Raphael doing his flanks on the north of Q1. I feel like that's a very Raphael thing to do. But he's actually going for a long way round. He's ignoring the roof.
Yeah.
I think he might be trying to come in from the eastern side. That's an interesting tactic.
No, he doesn't know they're south? Oh, this could be so bad
must.
for Globochem. Beginners have to capitalize on this huge mistake out of this positioning.
Yeah, he's sitting in the northern passageway, no idea what's going on there. He needs to start moving now if he wants to kind of interrupt the push.
The smokes are out. Thunder Pilot has found Killinger, a huge pick, and a long distance nade tries to refrag it. Toast grabs Kensai. Beginners are losing members here. Raph, he's still going around for a long flank, doesn't spot Woods at the tank.
Going all the way through Crater, which is very interesting. Maybe Globochem are just trying to hold up Beginners here and let Raph do the work from the behind. That would make sense, but you can only do that kind of delay for so long. The Smalls is trying to push out here, but I see Woods from the tank is the one that picks Toast up instead. That's opened up burning a little bit, and that could allow them to kind of push up before Raph can get into the behind.
Yeah, go prone.
Woods 43 is going to be able to get Killinger, but it's a ticking time bomb. This Raph flank is going to come in eventually. Thunder Pilot does find Woods trying to get the res. What angle is Thunder holding?
Nah, he's creeping.
Oh, just peeking
Yeah,
the
that's
corner.
a really interesting one. He's actually crouching on top of the kind of hill to get the angle above the rock. That's the interesting one. But Raph finally has come in and he took down Woods. That was a 2-minute rotation.
Very roundabout. He's now spotted
evident?
Smoils, and he's going to try and toss a nade.
It's perfect.
Nope. Just a...
It was almost perfect.
Yeah, it almost was. It had the right angle for it to be an airburst onto him, but it wasn't quite timed right. Raph now is going to have to win this firefight trade here.
He's got the superior cover, and he's also got the backup of his friends over at Burning. Smalls is pushing out. He wants nothing to do with the Raph, but it's not going to be enough because Auto is still up and the rest of Globochem is still totally fine and unscathed by the Beginner's push.
Wow. That was a very strong defensive round. A really risky one. One that was a instance there Beginners could have capitalized on a fast-paced push. But it's man, you know, it's just good awareness of who you're playing from Raph, though. He knows there's not going to be a push at 3 minutes. Even if there's gunfire,
even if there's smokes.
For Beginners to be pushing on an objective at 3 minutes would just be so uncharacteristic. So he feels pretty confident in that rotation, and it did pay off.
But that could be killer if Beginners do decide to go into their kind of new style of fast play. They could potentially grab several rounds here if they just change up their pace, back and forth, slow, fast, tactical and slow, and swap it up again. That could really throw off Beginners, and they could get early picks onto, like, say, Raphael, who does go for those long rotations because he knows the kind of reputation that Beginners has for their play style.
Diving in to round number 3 of this third match. Globochem have taken 2 maps in pretty dominating fashion. 4-2 on Bazaar and 4-0 on Cargo. Beginners are trying to claw their way back here. They're trying to mount a comeback. They need this map. They need 3 maps in a row if they want to take the championship, and it's a tall order against Globochem right now.
Yeah, especially because of Globo's adaptivity. If they don't get some incredible plays just back and back and back, it's not really going to work out well for them. Smalls getting instantly picked off by Pants. Killinger could be an issue for Raphael, though.
That fast.
Find the nade here and might take down Killinger.
No, he's inside now. But it is good smokes onto this building. Does allow Raph to push up fast to the corner. Kensai's looking for the picks. Raph has his laser pistol there.
Kensai should be aware of that shield play, and we also have a pretty aggressive move coming up from the base of roof. That's Pants. Good flash on the roof, blinds Woods. This could be an issue. The roof could be cleared here.
Another flash high up, and a nice move from Pants. Almost gets him team killed with how fast he's moving. Killinger does pick him up, and Raphael tries to come in from that inside building with the shield, and does get a shot onto Killinger, but Kensai finds the frag, and we're into a 3v3 Beginners. They're not going to roll over. Otto almost gets him on the corner, and we'll see what Killinger can do here. Wow, what a great frag. Kensai with a fantastic play. Catches 2. He's on the reload on the corner. Toast is trying to find him, and he picks him up into a 1v1 we go.
What a fantastic nade that was from Kensai there. Threading it through the window into the stairs right next to Auto and insta-killing him. One v one though. Who do you think is going to come out on top of this Nightfire? It's either going to be Toast or it's going to be Woods 43, who's moving really weirdly and aggressively on the objective on top of the hill.
I was going to say, I think Woods is a little bit nervous because he's the last one alive. He's pretty exposed here, and I don't think he'll be ready for... I mean, Toast has just all the options in the world, basically.
He has all of the time in the world as well. 3 minutes 40, 3 minutes 35. He can pretty much just scavenge everybody on the map and just throw nades on the objective if he so desires. In fact, he might actually loot pants and go for that. Or maybe he'll loot this Vault Corpse.
Tosses a smoke out, and that does draw Wood's attention.
Seems it was just a distraction smoke. It's intended purpose, and now he's moving up the west, but that may be a little bit too obvious. Woods 43 peeking out. Toast not seeing each other. Toast taking a hit. That's so lucky. If Toast pushes up here, he could massively take off Woods. He's going to be off guard. He won't expect to be injured and pushing up. He's taking fire. No shots hitting.
Good rotations from Woods. Toast is out in the open. It's an easy pickup, and Beginners hanging in there, grab themselves around and take the lead 2-1.
Really by the skin of their teeth here on Quarantine. This is, I think, what we expected the first two maps to be like. Maybe Beginners have finally found their stride on Quarantine.
Talk about their... I mean, I think one of the highlights of this series, obviously, as we were anticipating, has been grenades. And when you talk about this replay here, this toss from Killinger is just unreal. I was surprised we didn't see a follow-up nade from this one, Sleepy.
Yeah, I was too. I think it's mainly because he was by himself. But yeah, you'll see Globochem putting out some really nice grenades, a lot of smoke. It looked like an airstrike was coming out from them. But then you see Killinger throw a nade and it picks up Raph. Unfortunately for Killinger, Raph does get killed. But Beginners do end up picking up that round. And yeah, the action continues.
It has been a great third round. One that, kind of given me hope in the series here. I don't want this to be done in 3 maps, and I think this is more of what we were sort of expecting out of Beginners, a bit more disciplined play, and they seem to be a bit. I don't know. Maybe they're mounting the comeback.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They seem a little deflated in the rounds that I've seen so far. So I think those first 2 rounds being lost already are not helping them at all. I don't think they're in the right mindset, but we'll have to see. Globochem definitely going to be riding a high as they're sitting on 2 map wins here. All they need is this last one to take the entire thing right here, right now.
See if they can continue to do so as we dive into round number 4 in this third match. Beginners on the comeback. They also have the fast spawn. This is real interesting, Bucks. We've had mirrored spawns almost every time, I feel like.
Good RNG, I'm guessing. The Onward gods are shining proudly, but I think Beginners may have issues here. I heard some communications at the start that they weren't really sure what they were doing. I heard someone kind of asking what the plan was.
Thunder Pilot's worked his way up into this pretty standard corner spot here at this building, and there's conversely no smokes for Beginners here on objective.
There will be a nade on the northwest side that could kill Thunder Pilot. It looks solid. It's perfect.
Otto should be able to get him up. Killinger is going to sprint up there, try to get the reconfirm. He's on the corner. They do pick him up, and Killinger's crashed in. Otto with a nice frag on him. Kensai now a bit worried as he's advanced forward, and maybe Thunder and Otto feeling a bit overconfident as they've picked off everybody. Otto goes down. Thunder Pilot's still here. Kensai probably not going to be ready for it. Pants goes down by Icy Woods. Icy Woods gets picked up by Thunder. Woods 43 into the 2-story, trying to find Thunder Pilot around this corner. The pre-fire not landing. The reload, and Thunder tucks in.
Now he's going straight for it. He wants to try and just waste the ammo of Woods 43, just back and forth, back and forth. I hope Thunderpilot most likely going to rush out. I see Woods getting picked up. So much ammo trading, and Thunderpilot is just going to get picked up from the behind.
A huge res from Smoils there. Icy Woods was watching this negotiation go on the entire time, wanting to get involved. And finally he was able to as he found that pick. Toast here could be into a bad spot if Woods keeps rotating. Actually a frag? No, a smoke coming out towards him right on top of objective.
A perfect nade from Raphael takes down, instantly
Smoils.
killing Icy Woods on the roof though.
How do you shoot with the fucking back? Kill another enemy.
Nice moves from Smoils. Catches Raph in the back completely unexpected. And Beginners could take a Marsoc round here. They have to coordinate the push between Woods 43 and Smoils. But Toast is a little bit worried. He's pretty much smoked out. He doesn't have good vision.
Yeah, the smokes are pretty solid from Beginners, and they also have Woods popping off some more smokes on the western side. He could potentially just walk straight up to green car with these smokes, and that would be a very good forward position to get.
Yep, Toast is about to get sandwiched here. Smoils is going to be peeking that corner. Woods is going to be advancing up into these smokes. You think they're going to look for a cap?
This is kind of feeling like one. If Smoils can distract on the eastern side, and then Woods can push up in those smokes, although he was just spotted, that could be the plan blown, but I don't think Toast will expect
How many
Smoils
smokes does
coming
Woods
in.
have?
There must have been a lot of corpses in that area.
Oh.
He must actually take down Woods. Missing those shots, that could have been bad.
Yeah, Toast now completely exposed to the backside of Smoils. Beginners take the round. They're running this one back. They're mounting their comeback. Like you've been saying in our pre-show and in the predictions, Beginners are a dominating force on this map, and they're definitely showing it here.
Yeah, they must be kind of getting back into their pace. They must have broken the mold from the previous two maps, but losing those first two maps, that could have ended their chances right here. Well, right there, rather. Because even if they win this map, the chances of winning another two maps in a row against Globochem, the number one, number two, depending on how you look at it, team in the world, the chances of that happening is just so low. Especially with Globochem's adaptivity, they're kind of famed for being able to adapt to pretty much any play style. Doing two maps in a row, just winning them, I find that incredibly unlikely.
It is a tall order, but I will say that I think Beginners have not been playing at their top tier for those first two maps. It just didn't seem like they were really, it's like we said, chaotic. And that is a word you rarely associate with a Beginners series. They very rarely have chaotic games. They're usually very down to the wire. They're slow and methodical. And I think maybe we're getting back to a little bit of that. Even this, though, Quarantine is still a little chaotic. They're coming down to 1v1s and 1v2s.
Yeah.
But they're winning them now. And, you know, it's just it's the tiny differences in what happens here at the high level of play that dictates who's going to win and lose. And Beginners are just getting things to swing their way on Quarantine. If they can keep that momentum rolling, I think they have a chance of taking a Downfall map. You know, they are a strong team on Downfall as well. Beginners are no slouches on any map, really. Suburbia, I feel like, is their own. If they go to Downfall and they win Downfall, it will then be hard to win Suburbia against Globochem. That's a long road
I
ahead.
definitely agree with you.
You know what I mean? That's a long road ahead. Beginners still have to win this round
They're
here.
focusing on the here and now.
Yeah, right.
Fifth round, though, going in. This gas station objective in a very bad spawn for Globochem, spawning way up there. This spawn does give them pretty much the ability to go wherever they want. They can come in from west, they can come in from south, they can come in from east. They have the options, they just don't really have the kind of ability to play their usual, take them by surprise with a fastness.
They're opting for that hard north push here. Pants is singing. Nice little Christmas tune for everybody.
Oh, I wish I could have caught that. I'll have to watch back the stream now.
You can still catch it.
Ah, very relaxing. This is recorded for my personal collection now. Thank you, Pants.
Oh, I'm
Okay, it's taking a turn for the worse.
Christmas.
Very casual here for this big Globochem squad. They're feeling good, even down 1-3.
I suppose that's what gives them the kind of ability to be the number 1, number 2 team, is that they just don't get affected by downward slopes.
It's the
They
confidence.
always have the mental ability to come back, the confidence to do what they want to do, rather than being kind of scared and pressured by the enemy team.
Yeah. It is fun to see Globochem get scared and pressured, though. Because it means that that team is playing very well, because, you know, they are a team that is so confident. And to be able to worry Globo is an achievement in itself.
Yeah. To make Globo bleed makes you like some kind of demigod.
Oh gosh, putting them up on a high pedestal, but it is earned. They are the dominating team for a long time in this game. They've been around for a long time, and same with beginners.
Since the league started.
Have beginners been around since the league started too?
Beginners came around season 2 officially.
Almost.
Globo's been around since season 1, and the 4v4 tournaments as well that lasted like 8 hours. Those were the days.
The casual vibe of Globochem is definitely working for them. They shut down that middle burning building area and are starting to converge onto objective, onto the 3 remaining defenders of beginners. There's 3 minutes left. Right on cue for them.
Yeah, clearing out burning here, that's been really good for them, especially with 3 minutes remaining to kind of maneuver how they desire in there. And with Toast coming in, most likely taking that western courtyard, they pretty much have the ability to do whatever they want in this stage. They can smoke from burning, they can send a flanker coming around the kind of central west area-ish, coming from there, take down Smalls, take down gas station, and just totally encircle the objective.
Man, a well-placed nade in this middle bazaar area would shut down Globochem. Middle courtyard area.
Moyles does have a nade. He could potentially pull it off, but it'd be a very difficult nade to get. A little bit pre-fire. They really want to make sure that kind of building is clear, and Smalls is going for the nade. Way too long from the looks of it, though. But it could take down one, but no. Unfortunate.
I think if it hadn't hit that little beam there, it might have caught Otto out.
Yeah. We've got Toast moving in from the west as well. This is definitely Smalls in a hard spot shortly.
Let's go, boys. Let's get some more smokes out of the album.
Toast now going around the corner, going to try and catch Smalls. He doesn't see him there. He takes down Smalls, though. The snapshot onto him. This is definitely Globochem beginning their push. Still 5 strong.
Yeah, it's not looking good for beginners here. The smokes are out. Kensai is exposed. He's going to get flanked by Pants here pretty shortly.
Raf starting to push straight to objective, takes down Woods. Kensai now the only one left on objective. He gets taken down again by Raf. Globochem finally seems to adapt a bit and come back, take that round.
Kind of forgot in beginners starting to run things back that Globochem are not a team that will let a big win like that happen very often. A 4-1 win for beginners would have been quite impressive, but Globochem are denying that. And now beginners have a bit of an order ahead of them. They have to win themselves a Marsoc round. They've done it before, and maybe that's where they feel more confident, but I think Globochem may... I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I think beginners can take the map. I think this is their chance. But if they let Globochem back in, well, it's going to come down to that 3v3.
They absolutely will. A 3v3 on the 3rd map. It's the power of 3. But who's that luck going to go to, NightFiree? Who do you think that luck's going to go to? Personally, I think the luck will go to beginners, just so we can go to a 4th map at least. Well, just so we can go all the way, really.
I want to take... I don't know, dude. Just looking at this, I think Globochem have it for the most part. I think they can lose this map and then win the next one. But beginners are hanging in there, and they're a team that you can't ever count out. You know, they're a strong performing team, so they have the ability to come back. And I think while we're here in this little bit of a downtime while these teams hash out strategy, we'll take a look at that chaotic replay. I mean, we were saying how maybe this round beginners are starting to dial it in, but when you look at this replay, Sleepy, it's just chaos.
Yeah, that replay in itself is very much chaos, but it definitely shows the beginners and their will to stay in this thing and their kind of momentum shift here, as we've seen on Quarantine 1. Big battle ensuing here. Toast and Thunder on a nice pick on the corner, but Kensai going to drop a nice frag in the stairwell and pick up one of the members of Globo. Then he's going to grab another on the refrag. But eventually Toast going to win out the day there in the Northwest, and that's about all we've got.
Oh, that Kensai play was so fantastic. Bucks, that was one we highlighted earlier, and it was just such a nice nade from him, Sleepy, to coming through that window.
Yeah, it really was. I was like, what? I did not see that until I clipped the replay. Oh, man. Such a good play for the Northwest.
Diving into the next round here on Quarantine. Beginners trying to hang on as they've positioned themselves into a... Well, I guess they had that quick spawn, huh?
Still singing. Yeah, they had a little bit of a quick spawn in the north. Well, the little bit of a quick spawn compared to what Globo had last round.
Have that north spawn and taking it nice and easy. We played that replay, gave him about a minute to set up, and no action happened during that time. As you know, we could kind of lean into that a little bit more if the series continues.
Yeah. Ooh. Panzer's loving this song. Just background music for Toast as he just watches the trench.
Sing. And birds, they something.
Doesn't know the lyrics to it. Amazing that he's keeping it so light. I mean, in normal league matches, I feel so tense, but God, that is just a lot of confidence, man. That's what that is.
Once on the burning
In a
stairs.
second, in a drop of a hat, he'd go immediately back into shooting mode.
Yeah.
Shots ringing over to him, and he just ducks them immediately. His reaction time is certainly not diminished. He's not distracted. He's just doing it just on autopilot.
That's a good way of describing it. He really is on autopilot, reacting and just... The whole squad is so quick, and you know, it's a tall order for beginners. They've been doing well on Quarantine so far.
They haven't done. One thing I've kind of noticed about that is that Globochem, they seem to have kind of been holding back on the kind of flanks and the rotations. Anything that may be trying to get into the behind the beginners, they've been really holding off on those, which I think is a good way to kind of counter beginners, because they have been looking out for those flanks almost constantly. They've had a few slip-ups, but ever since the Raphael kind of big rotation, they have been careful in watching the flank.
See if Woods can get out of this pit successfully. He has fallen in.
Looks okay.
I think he'll be able to climb out. I don't know, dude.
Master climber, Icy Woods.
I haven't gone to that pit in years.
In literally years. I think I remember watching your stream and you got stuck in there and you have to go back to tent or something along those lines. But man, there is a lot of time being burned here. 2 minutes 40, still 5v5, still only a handful of shots fired.
They're still almost all over here at their spawn. Like, they really haven't moved out from it.
Don't have any smokes. Smoke, give me smoke. Okay.
Some solid smokes, though they're not kind of blocking Toast's angle at all. And Toast might just mow down 3 of them. Oh, he misses the shots.
Nade coming in.
Oh, they need a nade right now. Toast has a nade. It could be a quadruple kill.
No, it's just a little short, and Killinger instead catches Toast out with a long-distance nade. Pants does get the red, but he's now suppressed, and the rest of beginners are converging in here. Smoils is not up and over. He tried, but he didn't quite do it.
They're going too far. Killinger moving in. Woods though getting taken down by Pants. The nice plays on the stairs. Trench also starting to move forward. This is the beginning push.
Pants catches Killinger on the wall as he tried to get him around that little bit of pillar, and Pants is just being a devastating force in that burning building. Finally, he gets shut down by Icy Woods. Smoils here, I don't even think knows Toast is on the other side of the wall.
I don't think either of them know that they're there. Toast at least does. Finally takes down Smoils, and now it's just one member. Beginners make that 0. Toast goes down, and they have evened up 3-3. Come back to comeback.
Uh-oh. We could be looking at a new Onward VR Master League champion, a recrowned champion here. If Globochem can take this Marsoc round, they will take the championship. They will have grabbed Bazaar 4-2, Suburbia 4-0, and now here we are. Or sorry, Cargo. Jeez. Now here we are on our final one, Quarantine, all tied up 3-3. Well, not final quite yet. We're not gonna, or this is a best of 5. This is a best of 5. So if beginners can win, we're going into a 4th map, and they're really gonna start to try and mount that comeback.
Yeah, but if Globo can take just this one round, all it takes is just for them to use their one good play on this dangerous objective, this dangerous base of roof objective. If they can use just a handful of good plays that maybe they've got stored up in their tactics books, or just their depository of luck next to their bed, just either one of those, and they could definitely take this 3 maps 3-0 very strongly.
I'm gonna want to pull Sleepy in for some reviews, but I don't want to spoil this one for him because it is real close right now. I think one of those recent highlights is Pants Christmas caroling his way to victory. We managed to catch a good bit of that last round, fortunately, and I think we're now waiting in a bit of a tech difficulty as beginners have dropped a member. I don't think it's a sub. I'm just imagining a restart.
Killinger, so it must be some tech issues.
Thank you for tuning in today, though. This is the Onward VR Master League Season 6 Championships. If you are just tuning in, you've missed a couple of maps and could be watching the final round unfold shortly, but feel free to follow the channel and hit subscribe because this is not the end by any means. Season 7 starts in like 2 weeks after this. Like, we take no time.
Yeah, there is no break for any of these teams. They're done with this championship. They have Christmas. Straight into Season 7.
Yeah, and it's just, there's no real need to delay a season. You know, people don't need breaks. They do this. They do the league because it's fun. Everybody that plays in the league loves playing in it because they love playing a competitive shooter, and they love having those rounds matter. And you know, your wins, losses are determining how skilled you are and where you're positioned against other teams. It's a lot of fun, and I do encourage anybody that hasn't signed up or isn't involved yet to go ahead and go over to the Onward VRMasterLeague.com/Onward website. You can register for a team. You can sign up to be a reservist where you can substitute for a team. And I mean, also join the Discord. The Discord link's there. That's where you're really going to get involved. If you want to start to get up at this level of gameplay, at this level of map knowledge, we do run Onward boot camps now too. There's people out there that are helping teaching new players how to play the game strategically and how to not get instantly killed by teams like Globochem.
I think the not getting instantly team killed, or not instantly getting killed by Globochem, I don't think that's something that even the best players can teach you. Good luck not getting killed by Globochem. It happens to us all. In fact, once you make your first team, you must line up, if you're in the American East region, you must line up for your first inaugural Globo Slap.
Yeah, it's
where you'll be taught the true meaning of just domination.
Yeah, you understand what it's like and how much you have to grow, because there is this definite skill gap, but there's variety too. I mean, there's room for all sorts of skill levels of team in the league. I think we have 35 plus teams, which is ridiculous for the amount of it's fantastic. I love to see the league grow, and the casting has grown. We've gotten more people involved. People like Sleepy, we're trying to give improvements so he can bolster his system and he can cast even more. We have Noman VR, who's been involved, and a lot of new faces showing up. If you are interested in casting too, we're always actively recruiting. We just require a few things out of you, so feel free to whisper myself.
Message NightFire.
Yeah.
Just to give you some exact numbers, we do have exactly 300 players in the league playing actively on teams.
Wow.
300 people. Impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. When people ask, does Onward have an active player base? It's like, oh, it has probably the most active. It doesn't always show in the lobbies because teams are scrimming now and they're trying to develop strategies and a lot of private lobbies going on. But
yeah,
I don't know. I digress, Buxton. We still have Onward right here in front of us. The tech difficulties have been fixed, and we're diving into what could be the finale. What could be Globochem taking Season 6 championship title away from beginners. Just have some early shots from Killinger. They know it's a crater spawn.
and those shots almost took down 2 as well. That would have been devastating. But beginners are definitely kind of in their element. Kensai and also Icy Woods, they're set up in the north. They're ready for these guys coming from Crater. Sure, what entirely that smoke is for.
Yeah, I'm smoking right now. I smoked off the road and...
Multiple smokes, in fact.
Area. I'll watch your left. Yeah, don't worry. You're just good. Just go.
Pretty, I guess, to deny vision from burning.
Possibly, or this is just a masterful tactic, because there is actually the prone man Raphael the Turtle crawling slowly across the road way to the eastern side, using the smoke as a kind of, I guess, a tiny bit of cover, because they're actually perfectly placed for him. They won't expect him. They still do have the issue of being trapped up in the northeast. They can't fall back. They can't push up. Everyone on beginners is just waiting for them. But that does also mean they've abandoned the objective. And now, Raphael could just flank around south, go straight for objective. If that happens, I'm done. I quit.
Beginners.
That would be
they've stacked.
unbelievable.
They've stacked north. Once they saw that crater spawn, they loaded up over here. They still have one near objective in burning building. What angle is he responsible for holding? Oh, he is watching that south street.
Luckily, not too big of an issue then. Is Raphael still crawling? Yes, very slowly. He has not stood up once. I feel like we've swapped roles here. Beginners are being the aggressive ones on Volk. Globochem are kind of stuck up in the northeast.
Oh. Killinger spotted him south. A huge spot for Killinger.
No. That's going to mean other members of beginners are rotating away.
Yeah,
Or at least they should rotate away.
well, it could draw attention, and it could allow Globochem a little escape here.
If Killinger decides to peek Raphael on the south, it could be disastrous. He needs to sit back and wait, but that is seemingly what he's doing. He's sitting by the crates,
Oh, you do? Okay.
staying in cover, because peeking that kind of south hill angle, it never ends well. It never does.
He's staying real low. He's going to run out of real estate. You can't go all the way back around here. The wall pushes you out into this hill.
Come on, make moves, go. But yeah, not too fast to the objective, just to the roof. In the roof.
Globochem might start running out of time here. They only have 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining, and they're in the exact same positions they were 4 minutes ago.
They're going to go for a cap. Raph is calling for them to cause noise, and I think he's still under the impression that he hasn't been detected here. Whoa, you turned into a robot. Yeah, he's going to grab control here of Plane Wing. And you're right. They only have a limited amount of time. Woods catches one. Icy Woods catches another. And just like that, 2 get dropped on tank. Killinger finds Raph on the south. That gets shut down, and Globochem are losing members left and right.
This is disastrous. Who could have predicted this?
Huge shutdown from beginners. Another one falls for Globochem, and it looks like we are going to go in to map number 4. Beginners here going to take quarantine. I highly doubt Otto can come back 5v1. It would be,
if he does, it'll be the single best comeback in Onward.
It would be indeed. We'll see if he has it in
It'll
him.
truly make him the name of Globochem, the team captain. But he has 60 seconds to kill 5 people. Good luck, Otto. Good luck. We should see Woods.
Lots of fire on towards Otto here. He's trying to push up. Kensai's tucked in. He should hear him. And Otto just realizes he's the last one alive and the kind of situation he's in here.
He should know that Kensai's by the white truck. If Kensai rushes him, he could potentially take him down, but they're both trading. They hear each other's footsteps. Kensai gets taken down by Otto. He's going to be looking for Woods, but no, through the window of the green car, he gets taken down. And beginners with that comeback from the previous 2 maps.
Wow. That was a much stronger round, too, for them on Volk. They held on to that one very well. We're going into our 4th map, and I don't know what to do with our scoreboard, but whenever we reference it, we'll pull it up, but I'll tell you what the scores are, because very rarely do we have best of 5s. It's something that we're going to have to... I don't know. Would you like to see more of it? I don't know how we would do more best of 5s and what situation it would be something we'd see more of.
I think it only really applies for grand finals and the like.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a long amount of, a large amount of time. And this map, I think you did kind of expect it.
Yeah. Oh. Are you still in your lobby?
Yes. Strange. In that case, I will tell you what map it is for you.
Oh, it's Downfall, I believe?
Would it be correct in saying Downfall? That means we either have Suburbia, Tank, or Subway for that potentially 5th and final map. But I most likely do imagine it'll be Suburbia if it does come to that 5th and final map. But with Downfall, I'm not entirely sure who could take this.
I think... I'm going to say that beginners can take Downfall. And it's going to come down to that Suburbia map. And... I think that's what... I think that favors Globochem. I think this whole situation, them winning too early... Obviously, you know, they have the advantage. They can lose this map too, and then pick a map that they prefer, that they know that they're going to be dominant in. And it's going to be, I mean, I just don't see beginners winning against Globochem on Suburbia. So I don't know how long this comeback will be, but we'll see. We'll see what beginners are capable of, that's for sure.
Yeah, we absolutely will. But Globochem, they are still also strong on Downfall. Not as strong as beginners, I don't think, though beginners has made massive mistakes on Downfall in past. Like they lost Downfall against Lemon Squad 4-2, which was devastating for them, and it almost cost them that round robin stage. Or another round robin stage, the league match they played earlier on in season 6, but maybe they've kind of studied a bit more. They've studied especially counterplays for Globochem, but are they going to be able to kind of execute them well? Are they going to be the counterplays they need for how Globochem is going to be playing for today?
I'm unsure, man. It's the series has been it's turning into a bit of a back and forth. I was thinking Globochem were going to take 3 maps and be done, but now I start to see beginners clawing back and hanging in there, and Downfall is not an easy map to win 4-0 on or to really take dominantly, so we could be seeing another 3-3 map point.
We could potentially. It really all depends on how Globochem decide to play this. If they continue to play kind of aggressively, it could work out well for them, because I think the rounds that they lost on quarantine were the rounds where they kind of just ran out of freedom to move about. Obviously, the final round, they got strangled up in the northeast, couldn't do anything. Then previous round, you had them kind of just get picked off slowly one by one, as they couldn't really pull off a full movement together as one unit.
I don't know if you noticed this, but Globochem were playing deep into that time limit for a couple of rounds there. I don't think that's terribly characteristic of them. Usually they try and make their move at 3 minutes, is what I've been noticing at least, but they didn't do it a few times on quarantine.
Yeah, I think it depends on who they're playing against, because one of the Globo strengths from the one time that Silent Post screwed them in past, they do kind of change up their style like that. They'll be fast for a few rounds, then they'll be slow for a round or two, and it kind of really throws you off. And I guess they just kind of did that yin and yang at the wrong time. Should have maybe time to bring in Sleepy if you think about it. He should be relatively up to date as to what's going on now.
Yeah, I'm watching it now, and he still hasn't seen the finale of that round. But it's pretty much finalized. We can bring him up. He should know what this outcome's going to be to this series and get his thoughts and feelings on what this next map is going to be, which is going to be Downfall. Sleepy, what do you think?
Well, I think... Well, I think Globo's going to have their work cut out for them, because we all know that beginners are very strong on this map. So it'll be interesting to see how Globo are going to go into this, being that this could tie the series if beginners are able to take the maps. But I'm also interested to see if Arsenic is going to come in. I've seen him in the Twitch chat. I'm not sure if he's watching at work or somewhere watching remotely, but I think he would be one of those guys you would expect to see them bring in for a map like Downfall. So we'll have to see what happens. But
yeah, I would agree with you. And looking at it now, it doesn't seem like they... I'm surprised, because I was almost assuming he'd be on this map, but he's not in their roster now. I wonder why they've decided not to bring in Arsenic. Maybe
it must be a scheduling thing.
I can't think of any other reason, because this is definitely a map that he does well on.
Yeah, well, real life commitments could have gotten in the way, of course. So we have to remember that we are all people in real life.
Speak for yourself. Have you seen Smoils in the same place as a cat?
No, you're right. I've never seen any cats in the presence of a Smoil, so that is a good point to be made. That's funny, because Lester was surprisingly short on cats, and Smoils was near. That's a beard stroker right there, ladies and gentlemen.
It's something you're gonna have to think over. See if Smalls truly is either sacrificing the cat to some kind of higher power, or he is in fact the personification of cats.
Oh gosh. Sleepy, we're also talking about how the road for the comeback, I'm kind of envisioning it for beginners. If they can get this map, which is a tall order, I just don't see him winning Suburbia. And I think that's going to be that Globochem map choice. Do you think they'd pick Tanker or Subway or anything like that?
I don't think Globochem's going to pick Tanker unless they really want to throw off Globochem, but I'm not really sure, but Buxton might be able to help me out here. I don't know if beginners really like or play Tanker much, but I agree. I think it'll probably go to Suburbia, and yeah, I'd say Globochem probably take it, but I don't know. Beginners be pretty strong there. I've not gotten to watch much of their gameplay, so we'll have to see.
They're definitely scrappy.
We first got to get through... I know they're good, because, they beat Boss Fight, and I know Boss Fight are good on Suburbia. I know that's a map they like to play. But either way, well, that'll have to be after Downfall in the first place. That's if they win this one. We'll have to see what Globochem can bring out here in order to stop this bleeding that they've now caused.
I wonder if Globochem are going to be... Yeah, that was a very important map for a lot of reasons, because Globochem runs on momentum so well. And to be able to deny it there, to be able to take a 3-3, I wonder if that's almost more demoralizing. I don't know. Do you feel better after losing 4-3 or 4-2? Or, you know, like getting... it almost...
I'd rather lose 4-2.
You didn't have to work... Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'd agree. The closer it was, the harder the defeat really feels.
And I think that Globochem are going to be even more kind of annoyed by the fact that getting caught up in that northeast is such a kind of rookie thing. It's very widely known to be a very bad idea to get stuck up in the northeast, but that's exactly what happened anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder what we're waiting on here. Maybe just these teams taking a bit of a breather. They have been going hard, I guess. We've been non-stop onward for about 2.5 hours, and I mean, this is what we're talking about with stamina, though, right? This is a best of 5. You have to have the stamina.
Yeah, you do, especially when it comes to events like this where, yes, exactly, we have a best of 5. You have to go at least 5 rounds. Luckily, they're within the comforts of their own home, so if they go down or get killed in between rounds, they can go sit down or go use the bathroom. It's much more difficult once you're on a land stage and you only have the time they give you between breaks or rounds or matches or maps or what have you. But yeah, it's much nicer being at the comfort of your own home.
That's a great point, and we'll see how these teams perform as we hop into our 4th map in this best of 5 series. Take a look at the rosters. It is the same. Icy Woods, Smoils, Kensai, Killinger, and Woods for beginners. Auto, Toast, Raft, Thunder, and Pants for Globochem. And I don't have any graphics for these maps, so...
You what? Oh, of course, yes. I was worried for a second. I was like, you don't have any graphics? What's going on? What's happened?
Oh.
We can blame James either way. Oh, Raphael really getting spooked there by those shots.
That was what their smoke was there for, but man, they are almost getting picked off here. This is some risky pushing out of this Globochem team to get to where they want to be.
Moles has got all the information on the man in the white building and also the man going to Twins, possibly also Raphael's location. They definitely got some very solid info at least, and that is very important to get early on, the info on where they've gone, because from there you can kind of extrapolate where they may go for rotations, and that's always good information to have.
Look at this hard push out of Raph. He's trying to get up here into this middle hotel, and he made it nice and easy. The entirety of beginners were prone. They didn't have vision on that maneuver.
When you go past me,
You can make it.
Whoa, no, I can't be too far away. Oh, I'm getting sprayed for
I guess that's again the same kind of thing we saw in Quarantine. He just knows who he is playing against, so he knows that he can pretty safely do stuff like that. Push up a center hotel where normally a team would be up in the northwest, standing up, looking down this kind of death alley. As you can swear you were almost watching Legionnaires here. 2 members of beginners proning right next to each other, but it's not working out. Pants tags 1. Woods returning fire. Using his friend's corpses just cover. That is an incredible angle from Pans as well. That's very tight.
Window
of the first floor of the South Wing.
Goodness. Yeah, that's just over the stairs.
They were crawling.
Your pants chuckled about their prone maneuvers.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Raphael rotate to the roof at some point and throw a nade over towards the western side here. I would not be too surprised. And I believe he does also have C4, though I think he may have already thrown it somewhere. He's got C4 and a nade, I believe. That's definitely a solid loadout for defending this kind of center area.
Globochem are playing pretty disciplined here. Pants really the only one who was looking for picks, and now Raph has tucked himself into that little two-story toast. Otto and Thunder, they're all just holding on to objective. Beginners are nowhere near it. 3 minutes left on the clock. They have time, but this is a big map. They've been prone for a vast majority of it.
Yeah, I've never really seen beginners play like this before. They're proning up the west side. I've never seen that. It's slow and steady. Normally beginners, they kind of push up to their spots, get there quickly, and then they just kind of sit there, wait for angles. But I've never seen them prone up like this in a kind of constant movement. Raphael seems to be getting a little bit anxious in the center house, though. He's moved down to the first floor. This could potentially end in his demise if he decides to peek the doorway.
I was just going to say that. I think Woods might be able to get that shot here. Actually, he might catch Killinger off guard as he's tucked in. He does get that kill.
One dead.
Gonna toss a nade out to the wall.
Nade coming out from Raph. That looks solid.
Nope, not far enough.
Almost solid. Seem to be confrontational in the north, or rather the southeast, it seems. I see Woods and Pants just building apart. They're very much aware of this location.
Toast catches Woods along the wall. Goes down.
That northwest push really fell apart quickly.
Yeah, it did. As soon as Pants identified it and caught that one out, they just patiently waited for it to happen. Raph waited for them to come. He knew they were over by that wall side since Pants called it out. And now Woods here is going to try and deal with Pants in this bottom story, but look at Pants. He is waiting for that to happen. Look at this angle he's holding, this sliver of an angle he's got.
It's a very the kind of angle you'd expect from a team like this. He's just looking for the movement so he can get the information and rush out before the opposing member that ran across that sideline actually realizes what's going on. You can see he's got the information now, and he's rushing out just as I thought. He's also calling out the position, so the rest of his team is also aware in case he goes down. But a 5v2 with 45 seconds, Beginners is out of this.
Yeah, they're not looking good taking this one. Thunder Pilot grabbing Smoils, and now it's all up to Icy Woods. He gets picked off by Toast. Globochem 5 alive. Take the first round on Downfall. They want this championship.
They really do. They want to kind of atone for what happened at OC5. They really want to, because they lost on Downfall at OC5, which is what lost them OC5. Now, if they take Downfall here, that would be a nice comeback. It shows they've definitely worked on it, or maybe Beginners has just slipped a bit on it, but I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest.
Kind of go off topic a little bit. One thing we don't really talk much about, Bucks, is the use of Pro Tubes and non-Pro Tubes, Oculus and Vive. Where do your preferences lie in all of that? 2-sensor, 3-sensor?
Well, personally, my preferences align with what I own. So the Vive,
Sure.
the Pro Tube with the Mag Cup.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I can't go back to stockless now, which is, I think, a little bit of a disadvantage, but it just feels so much better to use. You're still pretty quick with it once you get used to it. You've got the amazing stability of it. And the Vive, I think it's just because it's what I got first. Because at this point, the Rift does have pretty damn solid tracking if you got 3-4 sensors. The Vive sometimes can have issues. Just ask me, Polis, or Don Patron. There can be a lot of floating with that tracking if you're just facing the wrong way sometimes.
Well, we cover all the spectrums of VR, well, most spectrums of VR usage then, because I'm a preference of 3-sensor Oculus setup, but I also like the MagTube. I'm a big Pro Tube fan as well. I don't think Globochem members use it. We talked about how they aim against their chin. And I think a lot of these guys are Oculus now just because of the ESL sponsored tournaments. They've sort of gravitated over towards that headset. Whoa! Kind of cut me off there with some early shots. Globochem almost going down. He almost took out that whole team.
Yeah, that could have been devastating. That's the bird's angles. The bird's angles that came out, I think, about a month and a half, 2 months ago now on Downfall. That was a really solid angle, and it could have collapsed Globochem there.
This is beginners putting off a little bit of a performance here. They're trying to do something that was new right there. Beginners trying to get some early picks with like 3 or 4 members. And they're putting the pressure on the Globochem now. They know where their spawn is, and they are just dialed in here. I think they're starting to rotate off. We'll take stock of that defense, and they are starting to drop back a bit. Woods considering dropping back at least.
There's one thing that Globo can't allow here is that they can't allow a repeat of the final round of quarantine. They know this, and they obviously, you can tell that they won't let that happen as they've broken out 2 members at the very least. The rest try to move out as well. If they get trapped up in here by that LMG fire, they could very quickly run out of time here.
Shield by the church.
Smoyle's trying to take some shots out onto the shield. A couple of suppressive fire from Thunder Pilot. This is good for beginners. They've slowed Globochem up, and I think slowing Globochem is a good first step in sort of denying them a Marsoc win.
Yeah. Biggest thing as well, slowing up that shield. Raphael has been forced to kind of stay at the upper right truck area, even for the past, approaching 2 minutes exactly now. The fact that the shield has been delayed so long has really reduced the amount of pressure it can give out now, because now that they can move up to better positions on the beginner's side, they can prevent that shield from actually getting to any good positions from the start. As long as they can cover the correct angles, 1 or 2 people covering that kind of eastern side, the northeast, and the central kind of lanes of fire. If they control those, they control pretty much the entirety of the map.
We need to get the 1 story to see. But then we have a guy in the twins here, which is the problem.
Seems though the Globochem have finally managed to fully break out the northeast now, and they've kind of they're doing this kind of iron curtain again, like we saw, was that early on the first map of Bazaar, I believe. They did this kind of thing. They're just moving together kind of as a one cohesive unit, spread out across the entire map like a tidal wave.
Post is behind me, you're good. Where?
Yeah, we haven't really seen the spread from Globo. They do stay tight.
That may cause some issues for them then.
Yeah.
They are moving very quickly now, though. They know they don't have too much time to play about with, so they are starting to pick up their speed and slowly start collapsing on the center. They're pretty much a perfect kind of a
Oh!
Double kill by Killinger. That is filthy. The south bungalow position so strong there.
Pants was completely caught off guard. Otto here may get spotted. I don't think Killinger wants to peek it. But Otto's in a bit of a jam now himself. He's got this little bit of ridge to work with. Wow, Killinger ducking to check the other side of this window. He knows. He's aware of the potential angles, of the danger of peeking this window after taking those shots.
If he peeks this window, Otto could catch him, or at least he'll see the the tip of his gun, the muzzle awareness and onward. Very important for around corners. Yeah, Killinger was definitely spotted there, but Killinger somehow didn't see Otto.
Otto's standing. Is he going to charge in?
That's a big mistake. But Killinger's backed off. For some unknown reason, I guess he just totally is unaware of Otto. Or he's preparing and he knows he's there, so he's preparing for him to rush in.
I'm not sure. Killinger is in trouble, though. A slice of his body is available for Otto.
That was a dirty angle, but a minute 15 remaining. They still have 3v4 here. Beginners having that man advantage. The shield from center. He still is a big player. He could potentially pull off a cap if he plays his cards very right. Coming down to the 60 seconds of 2 in the south. they're the big force, the big defending force here. The man on the objective is nowhere near as important as those two.
Toast grabs Woods. He's even in the odds here, 3-3. 50 seconds left, though. They are going to be running low on time. I wonder if they're going to be looking for a camp here. If they can get Smoils, Kensai's the only one on objective. They have a far loner Icy Woods. He needs to start rotating down towards objective.
I think he's looking for Toast by the sound. At least he was looking for Auto. That is a vital pick for Toast.
And
He
Toast!
gets taken down by IC. It's just Raphael with 25 seconds, and it's not looking good. Kensai knows he's here. I do expect a nade.
Wow, Woods' position was huge. That nade went through the window, and a fantastic refrag from Kensai. Beginners on the board, and they answer back. We're tied up 1-1.
That was a fantastic nade. I'm getting flashbacks to the Button Cup match with Beginners and Globochem. You know that nade, Kensai, the exact same position, threw out the window and got the 4 kill. I'm getting flashbacks to that Nightfire.
This is a heck of a series, dude. This is really enjoyable to see here. I think like I said before, I think we're going to come down to a 3-3 here. I think the Beginners have turned it on, and I don't think they're going to let Globochem run away with another map, but the heart rate's starting to elevate a little bit, Bucks.
Yeah, the heart rate is going up. I don't want... You want to put a some kind of heart rate measuring device on the players here, especially on Pants. It must be like the heart rate of a mouse or something, and that thing beats quickly.
He has so much adrenaline pumping. It's like he's crazy, dude. The amount of energy that guy has and he puts out when playing Onward. He will dive full prone onto the ground to avoid gunfire.
I hope his play space is empty of any kind of obstacles. Otherwise, we may have a Hoochie reoccurrence.
Oh my god, no!
End up losing a few teams.
We had a round in the semis. I think it was one of the Beginners who went to go prone, and you heard him slam.
Oh, Killinger, yeah.
Killinger just slammed his head
that.
against the wall.
Oh, certainly not a good thing to do, because it hurts so much more mentally smashing your headset against the wall than it does anything physically. It's like, it's such a frustrating feeling.
You can if you do it fast, you can like break your nose too.
You can break your teeth.
Yeah, VR is physical. You gotta be careful. Look at this C4 usage.
There's a lot of talk over at Beginners. I think they are feeling pretty good about it now. They're feeling back in their element.
Good. I like to hear that. I was on board Globochem and I saw Pants toss some C4, so that's out there.
But where is that C4? Where did it land?
On the wall of Middle Hotel, facing objective.
That's an interesting one. Not sure how useful that's going to be, but they may send guys south, and it could be good eventually.
Well, we've seen the blast radius on that C4. I think the idea is if you lose Hotel, and you see people pushing out of it, you can C4 that and blast them in the back.
Yeah, but who has the detonator? Because if Pants has a detonator, he could go down before he has a chance of blowing this.
I don't think it was Pants. I think it was Raph or someone else that's in the Middle Hotel somewhere farther away.
That would make more sense. A lot of suppression coming out from Beginners, though. Coming over to Brothel and all sorts of buildings.
Upstairs.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Raphael with a detonator.
Woods dumping some suppressive fire, and this is kind of this is what you were talking about, Bucks. We're seeing the spread here from Beginners. They're very much trying to cast a web onto the objective, not really stacking up their squad into one position.
Yeah. It can work out very well, but also backfire depending on how the kind of defense is less kind of set out. If they are stacked in in one location, not stacking up on the master side can end badly sometimes. But if you say the defense is quite spread out, you spread out, it can end very, very well, and vice versa. It really just depends on the situation, the objective, the kind of pathways you have to travel as well. A strange smoke from Thunder there. Not sure what the idea is.
The defensive smoke? Where'd he dump that? Behind him.
Just behind him, yeah. That means Woods is going to be just trained on that.
Probably has to be his plan. He has to be wanting to draw the attention.
Yes, so that would make sense, but I don't see anyone on Globochem using that to their advantage by moving, but maybe that's just supposed to have beginners aware of that location.
Pants tossing an 8 out towards APC. Almost catches.
Ooh, that could have been deadly.
Yeah, look at that toss, dude. That was perfectly tossed towards APC.
That's a number 1 in the world. Nade toss right there. For certain.
Yeah, we haven't been talking about it much, but those nade tosses are not easy, man. And on the Oculus, too, they're really finicky, so I'm just always impressed to see these guys able to do it. Raph
Crossing the street.
catches
like I told
Kensai
you.
crossing. They're trying to prone their way across, and one did make it. Pants trying to toss a frag out. Another fantastic frag. Toast catching out Woods, and this beginner's deep offense is getting shut down.
Yeah, it's really not ending well for them here. And Pants, he's still got that solid location, and there's only 2 members that could kind of deal with him right now. And unless Woods can rotate around from the lower or upper red truck, rather, and help them out, the center house is just going to remain strong, and they're not going to be able to push the objective at all. Smiles are getting taken down by Pants, and it's even stronger now. A 2v5, no one on Globochem has gone down yet. In fact, nobody on Globochem has gone down in the past 2 rounds. Statistically, anyway, on average. Something along those lines. They've only got 1 death each.
Yep.
Oh, Thunder's rotated out. Killinger narrowly avoids those shots.
I was gonna say, Killinger's gonna have to worry about that. He catches Pants out, a really nice shot. Having that height advantage, Pants still losing the
The northern
trade.
side is collapsing in, though. I see Woods is pushing up aggressively, and it doesn't work out well for him.
Yeah, well, that could have been dangerous. He could have been inside the objective building.
Yeah.
Minute 24 after this. Be tough.
I don't believe Killinger can do this.
Yeah.
This would be a very good comeback if so. I think Nate's on Raphael there. That was actually going to explode exactly where his C4 would. Does Killinger know how much time
I
is
don't
left?
know.
Going onto the roof with 40 seconds remaining is a questionable decision.
Yep, but gets punished for it too as Toast finds that kill. A nice headshot, and Globo grab themselves their Marsoc or their Volk round. I think that's what we're probably going to see here is a bunch of Volk round trades.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Volt ground trades, downfall, it checks out. Because offensive downfall, unless you get the right objective and the right spawn, can be very, very difficult. You kind of have to get some kind of entry pick before you start your push, because you just need it if you want to find some way to break through. The kill box is strong.
Yeah, and I want to pull up this this move from Killinger where he charges into the middle and gets a couple of picks. Sleepy, why don't you break this one down for us?
Yeah, so Killinger gets a nice aggressive position in, I believe it was the north bungalow there, and he is able to shut down 2 members of Globochem as they attack from the northwestern spawn on that all-purpose building, essentially starting the eventual demise of the Globochem push in that round and getting beginners their first round and the Volk advantage point. And they go back to going blow to blow. So yeah, we'll have to see how things turn out, but I think this one's going to go down to Volk advantage.
Same kind of prediction as us then, Sleepy. Does definitely seem to be the agreed upon theme here. Sleepy, what, as you have been the one that can kind of jot down notes here, what has been your thoughts of how beginners have been playing? Because they've been they collapsed the first 2 maps. Then they kind of woke up on quarantine, and then they've woken up a bit on Downfall again. Then they fell asleep, and it's kind of just on the verge between the two.
Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty inconsistent today, in my opinion. And it seemed that they were a little off yesterday when they were playing Blaze in the semifinals. But Globo are just very on, so it wouldn't surprise me if Globo end up closing out this round, whether it be to Volk advantage or they end up getting a Marsoc round in their favor. But yeah, beginners, I think playing a little bit inconsistent, and some people might roast me for saying this, but I just don't think they're playing at the top of their game, honestly.
No, I've been in agreement with you. I felt like maybe they showed flashes of it on quarantine, and I'm hoping to see more of that on this map so that they can stay in it as we hop into round number 4 of this 4th map.
The power 4, will it come to another comeback by beginners? That smoke, very unfortunate. Totally wasted at the start.
No, they wanted it there.
Oh, did they? They accidentally dropped it, so I thought it may have been a bit of a wasted smoke. Luckily not.
Look at some bait smokes out here as well. This one up here in the middle, definitely to kind of maybe draw attention to this little this bunker area where people have normally been taking defense.
Oh, Kensai spotted the spawn. That's good information. He's got a very interesting position here. He's actually got a very interesting angle as well.
I feel like that's kind of risky because a lot of his body is exposed that he's not seeing.
Yeah, the legs,
Right.
you've got to be careful of them.
Can you do your snakes body?
No.
Safely? Fuck.
I can spot someone going to North Hotel.
Oh, Raf's got his shield. Got his tablet in hand for some reason. Not sure why he's got his tablet out, just walking down the low red truck here. There's no way he'd go for a just walking cap. That's not happening. That's not in a billion years. That's too insane.
He really could just kind of stroll up here, though.
Guys, we can use one nade, but you have to make sure you throw it to the sandbags. Or it goes
Really
to the
curious as to what
close, like
Raf's
there.
plan is here. He's moved up further. There's no one to back him up
I can
directly.
do that. I have one nade, but I don't know if I want to waste it there because I have to make.
He has his smokes and he has his nade. Oh, the signature Globochem. The signature Globochem move from the upper red truck to the lower red truck. Snaking their way down. It's a rather disturbing play. We saw this actually at the last championships that were hosted by the VRML.
Yep.
Wow, Kensai could wreak havoc on this team right now.
Yeah, one peek. He knows he shouldn't peek it, but I imagine the feeling is really strong for him. Oh, he stood up. Is he going for it? Could potentially kill 3. The moment has passed. He's not peeking.
Good nade right here. Good nade right here could do some real damage.
Yeah. It could be devastating. Kensai's peeking, I think. But the smoke is perfect for blocking the view. Kensai has the nade. He's throwing it in. He's going to take auto, but no. How'd that miss him? Somehow it did.
A little bit of hill there.
D4 from Kensai, though, picks up Raf. Resval, very luckily, however.
Kensai wants to
Lots
confirm
of
that.
smokes here, not much capitalization.
Oh! He found Otto.
Downed another one going to create a building.
Kensai knows he can't peek these windows again. If he peeks this one just next to him, it will be safe. But if he peeks the other one to his right, it would very much not be safe. He's confirmed that second kill onto Raphael. And he does confirm
another
that
one!
also goes down at the same moment. This is not looking good for Globochem. The tides have turned. It's going to be Volt trading for certain.
Beginners might not lose one here as they hold the way they're going now. They're in tight defensive positions. Toast and Thunder kind of caught out here. They're going to have a bad time with only 2 minutes 20 left on the clock to rotate around.
A convening, sitting in the first floor there, crouched. like some kind of strange cult of Onward. But they're covering each other's backs. They are seemingly a little bit scared of a flank, but that's very much not beginner's style for this kind of objective, though they have pushed Woods 43 up to that helicopter. That's going to throw them off quite a bit, I think.
A nice spot there. He should feel comfortable. It's super exposed to the south, but no one's coming there. Here comes Thunder out. He makes it. Doesn't grab the shield, though. I'm surprised.
He probably didn't want to hang about in the open for too long. Smalls and Kensai definitely know he's here, though.
Ghost also goes out. He doesn't grab the shield either.
Miles does a lot of damage from this location in the first floor, though. If anyone tries to peek Smalls, it's most likely not going to end well, because he plays it in a kind of interesting way. He changes positions between that wall to his right, the C4. Oh! Kind of a nade from Killinger, all the way from center house. What a long one.
Ghost is going to res him.
No syringe,
No.
yes, no syringe.
He can't! Pulls the gun in a trade. Beginners grab themselves their Volk round. 2-2. Who started this series on Volk? Was it Beginners?
Who started the very first map on Volk? That was Beginners, yes. But the one who started on this specific map was Globochem. Actually, hold on. Let's
I'm trying to think. Globochem win their defense is 3-2.
Beginners were on...
in their defense.
Beginners were on Marsoc, so Globochem was Volk, yeah.
Okay.
For certain. So if they just keep trading Volk rounds, Globochem will win. Undenied.
Beginners are going to have to break something out. This is the objective they've capped on. We've seen them cap with smokes.
Yeah, the dangerous north one. If they get a cap here, that will be an interesting turn of events. That's not something you can predict, with the exception of black magic. Voodoo. Perhaps that's what Smoils is doing here. He's kind of he's sacrificing the cats, NightFiree. He's sacrificed the cats, and that's how they're doing this comeback.
I don't know why he would be killing the cats. Doesn't he like cats? Isn't he a cat?
He's the personification of cats. That's why he sacrifices them. He has to feed his own
God, that's some dark
existence.
That's some dark stuff right there.
Really bringing down the open game here.
Yeah. I have two.
Also, what about your C4, Ruff?
Really juggling smokes in the spawn of Globochem there.
Yeah, the pretty standard early smokes here to allow you to get in position without getting nailed. Raph tossing his C4 pretty much right into the open. And then Woods catches toast. Wow.
Straight off the bat, that's devastating.
That is huge for beginners here because they need to take a Marsoc round.
I think this shows just how important it is for Globochem to get to aggressive positions. Now that they're kind of getting stifled by beginners, things are just not going their way.
Don't worry, I'm not peeking. Yeah, that's good.
Killinger and Kensai slowly moving up. Smoils, that was a long-range shot from Thunder Pilot. That was almost across the entirety of Downfall. And with a hollow sight, no less.
Man. That's that trained vision we talked about. They just know what they're looking for when they see it, and they take those shots, and they get these long-range, insane picks.
Do you have a flash? Shit, you have two smokes.
Yeah, the long-range picks are vital, especially on Downfall. If you can get them straight out of the bat, like we saw in the first round of Downfall, you know, where beginners had that long-range angle from the spawn, the valley, against Globochem in the northeast. Almost took down members there. If they had managed to take them down, that would have been utterly devastating. All right, but never mind. Pantsy's moved up to the center house. That is exactly what he wants. he plays his cards right, this is mostly going to lead Globochem to winning this Volk round. They need the aggressive positions. They seem to be kind of bringing down their guys from the northeast side down to the low red truck. And it is Icy Woods and also Woods 43, the brothers, using the psychic link. They're the ones trying to come down here.
They have a tall order ahead of them.
I suppose that's also what makes Globo and Beginners kind of even teams. They both have brothers with psychic links.
Is that
no
the
unfair
key?
advantages. That's the key. That's how you become a top team.
Needs to be a brother dynamic. We figured it out. We cracked the formula.
That's how you do it. That's the formula for a top tier Onward team. I will charge for that formula. Every time you use it, you must pay me. That includes Globochem and Beginners. I will accept payment starting tomorrow.
Generous of you.
Beginners are taking their time here, though, as usual. They're not playing too overly aggressive. I felt like we could bring up sleeping and just talk about the last rounds for a while.
We probably could, but there's only 2:50 left on the clock, so Beginners are going to have to get the move on pretty soon here.
2 minutes 50. We've got to start pushing soon.
Yeah, let's go. We push on Santa Hotel. How are you doing? Whoa.
Panzer's still holding strong in the first floor of the center house, actually holding an interesting position as well. The first floor, you know, the cutout just by the room with the windows. Yeah. Pretty much no one goes in there, but that's where Panzer's now. And with these smokes, he's certainly ready to rush out the second he hears Killinger and Kensai approach the doorway.
See the clicks there, indicating to his team that there's someone by him.
I believe Killinger and Kensai both heard that. The kind of click off his gun. They're going to go in here, clear this building.
Wow, the peeker's advantage for Killinger. He grabs pants.
He's very happy about it as well.
Yeah, that's huge.
Exclaiming that he was dead.
That is huge. Where's the C4? It's on objective, not back where it was the round before, where it could get some use now.
Max Burke clearing of the center house with that nade from Killinger and Kensai, making sure the whole building is clear. But at minute 30, the men in the north have to start moving. Icy Woods is still in the upper red truck with his brother, actually starting to move down to the crater. This is important. He's actually going to the sandbags. He's going to have a very good angle to cover anyone rotating.
He's managed to drop back in the chaos. He's going to smoke objective. He needs to get Raph in the bottom floor. I would think they'd expect somebody down there.
Yeah, you would think so. Pretty much everyone sends somebody there, every team. And the smokes are pretty solid. Second one hopefully should block the view. And yes, it does, just barely. If Raphael peeks this just right, he should be able to catch Icy Woods if he goes for the cap.
Reminder, there's C4 there as well.
Of course, yes, he can just detonate that if all hope may becomes lost. And the other guys coming in from the south start pushing in. Kensai goes down from Thunder.
Otto's here. He catches Woods in the smoke. 30 seconds left now. Killinger going down. And now there's only one member's left from Beginner. Woods, 43. He finds Raph. 20 seconds left.
He could actually walk to objective right now. Otto is actually
Otto's
not
inside.
in the position of coming outside.
10 seconds
inside,
left.
so he can just walk to the objective.
Woods has to get Pat out and cap in. He's running low on time, and Thunder catches him out. He was holding the angle. A huge hold for Globochem, and they take the lead 3-2.
That's what they needed. Now they just need one Master round or another Volk round, and they got this. And they will take this entire series.
Be crowned.
And it wouldn't go to the fifth map that we all expected.
Well, I don't know if I was... Yeah, I thought Beginners were going to be able to take this one. I still do. I still think they can do it. They almost took that Marsoc round. They're looking better each Marsoc round, and they can hold here on Volk. curious to see where that next objective spawn is going to be. It's going to come down to what it is and who gets this. It's going to be. It's just. I think we're going to get up. I think we're going to get down to 3-3.
Yeah, I think so as well. But thinking about it, you know, Globochem don't have to play this safe. The chance of them losing this round is pretty high. Vault trading every single round. They could just go full danger, no holds barred, straight for the objective. If that doesn't work out, then they've got a vault round. On a new objective, that could be dangerous, but they don't have to worry about this particular round being the super important one. They just have to hope.
Yeah, and let's talk about this amazing frag, because frags have been a pretty key point to this whole series, but this one, Sleepy, I mean, wow, what a long-range one.
Yeah, it was, and it all starts off, you know, you got Smoils there. He knows Thunderpilot and Toast are coming up from his flank. He throws out that C4, which is quickly shot and taken out by Thunderpilot, but little do we know, and you can see at the start of the clip there, if you slow it down, the arc of the grenade starts like right at the beginning of the clip there, and Killinger's grenade, and again, another precision airstrike from him, takes down Thunderpilot and Toast. I don't know if he was either out of utility or what, but he does not go for the res on Thunderpilot. Instead, he goes for the push, and Smoils comes out. It's a trade, and Volk take it again. Beginners take it 2-2.
An excellent replay, Sleepy. Thank you much as we hop into our next round. Number 6. Map number 4. Globochem have taken Bazaar 4-2. They've taken Cargo 4-0. Beginners won Quarantine 4-3, and here we are. What could be round series map point for Globochem if they can take it.
Yep.
Judging by what Globochem is doing here, they're going to try and come through the center, come through the helicopter kind of area. I imagine they won't send too many to the far west, but this definitely seems like they're coming from the center and will push straight for the objective, try and come in through the first floor of the building and the outside at the same time, rather than coming from, say, the mainly north or all coming in from east.
Tell me for certain, because I want to cross. Ralph, if you stay there for 1 second, I can cross behind you. Wait, stay there for 1 second. Perfect. Stay a little bit left, go a little bit left, go a little bit left. Thank you.
It's an interesting coordination between Raphael and Pants here. They're slowly edging towards the left, while Pants uses Raphael's imposing shield silhouette for cover.
No, you're good. I'm already... Yeah, I'm already in this...
Use it to slip into a slightly lower depression where he can be covered from the center hotel.
Hombre, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? I know, but there's a guy in there.
I think that's a guy in the center hotel,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh my god.
But there is very much not.
The guy in the bottom floor, right?
I will stay in front of you. Don't shoot me.
Sneaky snakes.
Ralph, you should just explore. Wait, look. Hey, you're too far. You're going too far. I can't
Yeah,
go that
from
fast.
basement. It's watching now.
What a devastating headshot onto Auto in the northeast there. That's not who they wanted to lose. He was either their cap attempt or distractor, or he was their kind of their flanker that would take out enemies so the rest could push through.
Yeah, and maybe this is that grouped up strategy not really working out here. Pants takes one in the shoulder.
Are you dead?
He is very tightly tucked behind Raph here.
Start moving. This is the corner. No. Cross. You're good. Thunder, move.
Moles has called out Pants though, saying he's behind the shield, though he's already moved off towards the western dumpster. Smalls definitely not going to be too confident peeking this again. And again, the Globochem. The Globochem sneaky snakes going down the kind of small depression to the lower west dumpster. Almost forgot the name of it there.
He's shooting. Be careful. He's just shooting. Don't die.
There's a lot of
So
rounds
much
being
suppression.
used.
Yeah.
Move.
They really don't want Smalls to peek it. They really don't.
No, let's go, Ralph. Go. Let's go. Guys, you notice someone's not fungal on it, yeah?
Just unreal coordination from these guys. They're all tight. They played so much together.
How long's Raphael been on Globochem now? It must have been about a year and a half ago
A
there.
long
This
time.
can't be blank. Collapsed.
Yeah, he's been on their team for a good while, a couple of seasons now.
Yeah, at least since season 4, for sure.
Right.
The very start of it. Smokes on both sides of Center Hotel, though. They seem good. They seem solid. And if they can get that guy to the helicopter, that could be perfect for pushing in.
There is still 5 alive from beginners. No picks have come out, and there's only 4 on Globo, so they're going to need to find some frags. They have a minute 50 left, so these guys are definitely going to be pushing it down to the wire. Getting nervous here, Bucks. This could be the series. This could be Globochem becoming our Season 6 champions if they can manage to pull this Marsoc push off. With a minute 30 left on the clock.
Now that you said you're nervous, I am as well. I can feel my heart racing. Woods 43, he could potentially take down Raph, and that would be killer. He can't allow... Well, Globochem can't allow Raphael to be taken down here. He is vital to this push.
The front side and back side.
Smoke's coming out. You can hear the urgency in the Globochem team's voice. They're definitely dialed in. They understand the pressure as Woods finds Thunder Pilot. He whittles down the Globochem team. Pants looking for the refrag. He finds it. A nice shot from him. Woods 43 finding Raph out. A great denial of the shield. More smokes. And Woods is charging around here. Pants with a great frag. 50 seconds on the clock. The 3 left onto beginners. 1 downstairs, 1 upstairs. They need Killinger to rotate back here.
They really do, but Pants is going in with a shield now. He needs to tango with Smoils.
He knows he's in the corner. Smoils catches him out in a trade, and beginners hang in there.
An incredibly close trade there. If Pants had survived, that could have been it. That could have been it. Pants could have defended that location with the shield. Forget putting heart rate monitors on the players. Put the heart rate monitors on the casters.
Wow. As predicted, we're going into this bad boy 3-3. Map number 4. Beginners do not want to give this up. They are trying to mount their comeback to their damnedest.
What's stronger, though? Is the Volk trading kind of curse stronger? Or is Beginner's comeback will stronger? Whichever wins out,
Dude, this
it'd be
objective?
amazing.
This objective, one of the highlights that we went over in the pre-show is them not getting this objective in time. As them not utilizing their time frame enough. Globochem has information on beginners here if they've done their if they've done their homework, if they've done their research.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough one for beginners. It's all about that spawn. Like I said, it could be old Marsoc. It could be that southeast spawn. It could be that northwest spawn.
I think if it's a northwest spawn or old Marsoc spawn, we could be seeing very easily a
Oh no, it can't be a
beginner's win, I
northwest
think.
spawn. Not on that objective.
Yeah, you can. The quick spawn. For this objective, you can spawn northwest
Really?
or
I
old
thought...
Marsoc.
Okay.
You've either got northwest, old Marsoc, or you have North Hotel. Those are the 3.
Here we go, Bucks.
There, I'm calling in the Marsoc spawn. I was right. It's a Marsoc spawn. This could be bad for Globochem. If beginners play this aggressive,
I know,
they
that's
could
the
take this
thing, though.
for
That
sure.
beginners aren't going to play it aggressive, so maybe it's
They
not.
gotta play it aggressive, Nightfire.
They're not going to, Buxton.
They gotta do it, Nightfire. I'm channeling my energy to them just to try and convince them to play aggressive on this one because it could win them the round and save them from defeat, like Darth Plagueis.
Oh, they're going to go. They
Oh,
have a...
smokes, that is perfect.
I can't, it's very smoked. They can push anywhere.
Those smokes are disgusting, Nightfire. Perfect smoke for that spawn. It's
Yeah.
almost like they knew somehow.
Well, once they ID'd that nobody was there in that corner, it's risky to push that because people can prone at the start in that corner and you can not see them, but...
Yeah. It's a good tactic to sit down if you're on Marsoc for this objective.
Yep.
Just in case it is that spawn.
sure that's a strategy a lot of teams think is secret, but I know a lot of people do it.
Looking at this defense from Globochem, though, I'm not sure how to feel about it. If their rotations are on point, it could be good, but if their rotations are lacking or the rotation angles, the rotation pathways are covered by beginners, they could get capped on here. Because they only have 2 people that can readily rotate towards the first floor where you can cap from.
I am so surprised that Woods 43 is using this position. I feel like it's such a risky spot. I guess we've seen him take it more as of late, but it just seems to me to be so long range, and there's some points here where you are very exposed.
Or you just don't have enough time to get down, like in the semis. He ran out of time just on the ridge by the sniper's nest, the South Overwatch.
Okay, or fall back. And
If he
you won't
speeds
get
up
through
here,
there, if you want to fall back, I see
well,
him tomorrow.
speeds up more than he did in
Maybe down the white door.
the semis, he could potentially pull this off very well. Doesn't get caught coming down, and if he doesn't run out of time moving in too slow, then he'll have a very good angle on covering the rotations from center hotel, and also anyone on the objective.
The last time he did that maneuver, they didn't have this fast spawn. They had to start, I think, northeast. So that's why he ran
that's
out
way
of
too
time.
much time.
Yeah.
It's not our smoke, it's not our
Apparently,
smoke.
Raphael only joined Globochem spring 2018. It feels a lot longer than that.
Really?
Apparently, according to Zarek.
I thought
And
he was.
is, I think, a trusted source of info.
I thought he's been a sub on their team for a good while. But you know, you cast so many games. One season
Track of
seems a lot
time.
longer than
He slips away.
That was like a year ago. Now that was like 2 months. OC5 was only like 3 months ago. It's just insane to me. I feel like that was last year.
Some good smokes pushing out, though, through this valley. Globochem, they're stoic. They're just sitting in their locations. Thunder getting an interesting peek, proning in that kind of, in the X dark room. We need new names for those. They're not dark rooms anymore.
Lit rooms?
Photo boxes, there you go. Paint the walls white.
Oh, this is interesting, man. Woods tossed a smoke to cross this gap that I was talking about where you can get picked. But doesn't that give away your position to this whole push?
Does... They don't really mind. Position from Icy Woods, though. He knows he can be aggressive because there's nobody watching this location. But I don't think he'll predict 2 in the center hotel. 1 he knows, but not 2.
They really think someone's up here at the White House, which is obvious. Like,
Oh.
it's a...
Oh, Icy Wood might burn himself to death. He's taken 2 hits from the fire. He's now 1 hit away from permanently dying. He's scaring me.
Kensai's up in White House. Kensai and Killinger. Meanwhile, Woods 43 with 1:20 left. He's making his rotation. He's back
It's a slow
here.
one, but it's certainly coming.
He's sneaking in. Oh, he doesn't have time to do it slow enough, though. He has to get picks, and he has to be loud. Beginners have to crash in. 1 minute left. They're in position to do it. They have themselves lined up. It's going to come down to this push. This is going to be deciding if we go to a 5th and final map or if Globochem are crowned our OC5, our Season 6 champions.
I think this all depends on Small. So if he takes down Thunder, the rest of the beginners are just going to collapse on the objective. Though it's Kensal that goes down. Toast getting that vital angle on Toast. Also refrag by Smoils.
Thunder here, tucked in, looking for Smoils. Smoils with the suppressive fire. Thunder peeks out in a trade there. 30 seconds left. Raphael finds Icy Woods. Woods 43 is crashing in. He could be tucking inside the building and capping right now. Otto, realizing this chaos, comes and peeks the corner. Woods 43 drops it. Killinger revives Smoils. 20 seconds left. They're both here in the corner. 15 seconds on the clock. They have to go now. Smoils crashing in. Killinger, He goes down. Globochem trying to take this. Otto goes down. Killinger, can he cap in time? Can he take this map? He has 7 seconds. He doesn't opt for it.
Now it's just a trade between the two. And Globochem get it with 1 second remaining and 1 member up.
Globochem are crowned our Season 6 champions by the skin of their teeth. What a great way to end the series.
I don't think it could have ended better, Nightfire. I don't know if you can hear it, but my voice is wavering slightly. My heart is pumping. That was much closer than it could have been.
He abandoned the
much closer than it
cap.
should have been. With
He
such
abandoned the cap. He
little
had
time
it.
remaining.
If he had tucked
He
in,
could have got it.
it was his way.
I guess
it
he
would
was
have been
scared of a nade.
It would have been so fast. It would have had been so quick. I just.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
So that's it then. Globochem are the Season 6 VRML Onward Winter Championships champions. They're getting their shirts, that's for certain now. Hopefully, not going to say Globchem.
Well, we'll see about that, you know.
You have to pull some strings, make
Yeah.
sure they intentionally make it Globchem.
But yeah, I would. Wow. Just a fantastic end of the series. I mean, let's talk about this whole thing and how it went down. It's kicked off with Bazaar, and right away it just seemed like beginners weren't at their top form. You know, Globochem were looking strong, and they were thriving in the chaos that beginners were kind of putting out there a little bit. And they took that first round 4-2. I mean, I feel like that sort of set the pace for the rest of the series.
Yeah. I feel like that's like Globochem, they have the adaptation, it's fast adaptation, they're very good with it. For beginners, it takes some time to spool up that ability to adapt. But once they have that ability spooled up, they just flick their switch and they're ready to go and they'll be close for the rest of the match.
Maybe it's something that that beginners need to work on. You know, we talk about Globochem doing scrims before rounds so that they come in ready for these sorts of scenarios, whereas beginners maybe taking a little bit to get loose. They definitely seem, you'd think they'd thrive in best of fives, and they really almost did mount a hell of a comeback here, but you know, it continues, right? We talk about, you look at Quarantine, or sorry, what was the next match? Cargo, and I mean, Globochem there, that performance was so I thought we were going to be done in 3 maps.
I thought so as well, and it almost was.
It almost was, because Quarantine shook out to be something quite risky. I mean, that's when I saw the beginners starting to adapt and starting to play more like we were expecting. I felt like Bazaar and Cargo were strange, and beginners just weren't their top form. Kind of like SMC against Globochem. It just wasn't who we're used to seeing.
Yeah, I guess the pressure for the first couple of rounds is something that kind of chokes you out, because again, getting into the right mindset for playing in a match. So the scrim warm-up, it's not just a physical warm-up, it's the mental, hey, it's an extension of the scrim. I imagine that's how they consider it.
Beginners started to mount something there with Quarantine 4-3, and I predicted 3-3 here for the final, and they nearly took it. They nearly grabbed this 4th map and started to mount that comeback. We would have gone on to Suburbia or some other map that I think Globochem would have ultimately taken, but you know, Globochem's hanging in there, denying that cap, and I mean, I'm looking at it right now, 3-4 with 1 second left on the clock. That's as characteristic of this series as you can get.
Yeah. If beginners had gone 30 seconds faster, they would have been less pressured. They could have won that map. I'm pretty sure about that.
Tried to stall long enough to let Sleepy see this conclusion, because he is our replay master, and I'd love to hear his final concluding thoughts on this series.
Replay master and our hype master.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, going into this one, Bucks, is this... I don't know. I think we all predicted 3-2. We all thought we'd at least see beginners take a couple of maps.
Yeah. I think just losing those first two sealed their own fate. If they'd lost one, then won the other one, and it'd been like that, they could have got it. But I think just having the lack of opportunity to play their maps and win, picking Cargo, I think, was a huge mistake. I think that was an enormous mistake. It obviously didn't play out well.
I was just going to bring that up. Why pick Cargo? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, they did well against Blaze. It had to have just been the confidence of them playing against Blaze well.
I guess so. That's what other people were thinking in the chat. But it certainly makes sense if they were confident because of the shield play from Globo. Hey, we countered Blaze. Blaze were also very, very good with shields. Maybe they can also do the same for Globochem. And clearly they couldn't. But the shield use is so different between Blaze and Globochem. You can't really compare them. Blaze, they really like to use their shield aggressively. Unlike Globochem, they use it a lot more tactically. Like you saw, obviously, Raphael ferry across multiple members.
Just watching that finale again, it is a fantastic way to end the series. We can pull up Sleepy now and get his final thoughts, because, man, what a close way to end it, right?
What? Oh, man. You came in right on time. I know you were obviously watching the stream.
Oh, we were stalling for about 6 minutes to to get your opinion here, because that was a fantastic way to end the series, and I just wanted to hear.
God, it was.
I mean, he abandoned the cap. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's that fast. I mean, when I saw him put the tablet away in 3 seconds, and
yeah, that's very true. A good win from Globochem, though, well deserved.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to sign off here, Sleepy. Do you have any final thoughts about this fantastic Season 6 finale?
No, I do want to say congratulations to Globochem, Season 6 champions, beginners. You did put up an excellent fight. You did give us some great games to watch. Obviously, thanks also to the viewers and those of you who are sending me clips, helping me bring those replays to the guys in the casting desk, if you will. And of course, any new subscribers. I saw someone who said they followed the channel just recently, so thanking all of them, and of course any of you anniversary subscribers to the channel as well. But yeah, that's all for me. Thank you guys again. That's all I can say.
Yeah, thank you, Sleepy. Those replays were fantastic today. We want to smooth and streamline that process out, because that's something we should be doing more of. It is a really nice addition to the cast. Buxton, do you have any final thoughts on the series?
I think this series has been a learning experience for both teams here. They've identified a few mistakes, they found out some things that work well, and I think both of them are going to be pretty happy about it. Beginners, they didn't do so well at the start, but they atoned for their sins later on. Globochem, they played well the whole way through. They're going to be feeling happy on both sides, I think. Globochem, especially now that they have those shirts on their wall.
And I think with that, we will be signing off. If you have any more interest in joining the league, head on over to the vrmasterleague.com/onward. The season may be ending, but like we've said, Season 7 starts in 2 weeks, 3 weeks time. So you have a little bit of time to practice for Season 7 before that starts. So get in there, sign up for a team, register to be a reservist, get your practice in, join the Discord, join the boot camps. It's all there for you. The community is live. It's thriving. It's better than ever, and I highly recommend anybody that's interested in playing Onward join it. And with that, we'll be signing off. That is it for me, NightFiree with 2 E's, my co-caster Buxton, and Sleepy with 2 3's. Thank you guys much for joining me, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Until then, adios.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.